Da 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 da. What up, y'all? Excuse the noise. Right as I got started, these motherfuckers got to installing a roof on the building next to me, on right here next to me. God damn, y'all was on the other side like just 10 minutes ago. Anyway, welcome, chat. As Rocky lays down to take his nap, we out here to talk about clearing the Pan-African dust cloud. What I mean is this: not all Pan-Africans are dusty. Not all dusty people are Pan-African. There's dusty people across the planet, you know. Dust has no region. Dust goes wherever it flows. And it stays and gets stacked wherever around people don't wash their ass. And so what we've been doing lately, we've been clearing up confusion and delineating as a people. You all right, Rocky? We've been clearing up confusion and delineating, and when things get ruffled up, you know what I mean? That's when the dust, like when you have such as just sitting there, it's all right. But when you start to move and clean things, dust goes and it goes everywhere. And that's where we at right now. We're in the middle of trying to clean some shit up. And so the dust cloud is with big plume of dustiness all over the place. Dusty ass thoughts. Not calling anybody in particular dusty. Well, I will call some people dusty later on, but not everybody. So what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to spend a short amount of time today. My name's been coming up all across the internet the last week and a half, ever since the interview with Dr. Maad and those other guys. Not her, but the other guys. My name's been coming up all over the goddamn place. And so I'm going to address some of this stuff. And I got some weirdos who just mad because of what I say about hip hop. Whatever. Suck your mama's dick. Ah, shit, man. I'm gonna stop cussing. I gotta stop cussing so much. I might have to go back and bleep that out. But this delineating has gotten a lot of people really, really mad, and they throwing shots. And usually I don't go too much back at people because why? But I'm a little bored today. And so we're gonna talk about it. And then as soon as I'm done, I'm gonna go back and watch this Candace Owens interview where she do a recap of her meeting with Eric and Kurt. We gonna probably talk about that tomorrow. I expect that shit to be funny than a motherfucker. But this is some nine of heart shit. People who've been traditionally on the same side of the fence, going back at one another. We totally could expect that this year. That's what we talked about back at the beginning of the year. So we're gonna talk all about that. With that being said, welcome chat room. What's up, Lady Hotep, Sinister, uh, Tim, Mr. Smoke, Pamela, Boy Shock, Samurai Show, Willie Mays, Infinite One. Appreciate Shayla, Jim. I appreciate everybody up in here for joining. So what we gonna do is we about to get started. I'm playing a little bit intro music, and we'll be back in about 30 seconds. Break it down. I want to first give a shout out yesterday. I I didn't get to watch the whole broadcast, but I'm gonna go back and watch the rest of it. And CEO, the business bully, and Black Alpha had a roundtable yesterday that I thought was it was great. It's good to see three brothers link up on code, talking about things as they are, as they see them, unapologetically. But it was watching his show. A few other things came up in the algorithm right after that. And I'm like, God damn, my name is in a lot of these niggas' mouths. And so I'm just going to say a few things. I'm not going to dwell on it too long. And then we're going to talk about some music stuff I was telling y'all about. We're going to talk about, well, if I have time, if I have time, I'm going to get on to some music stuff. But so anyway, let's talk about it. But again, salute to Black Alpha and those guys. They did an amazing roundtable yesterday, and I like seeing people like that have their talks. I'm personally, I'm not gonna go as hard as Black Alpha did, because that motherfucker be going hard. Sometimes I be listening to Black Alpha's like, that nigga be making me clutch my pearls. And how hard he be going at some of these, especially as hard as he went at Dr. Smalls. I'm like, woo! I'm just going to review and speak my piece in response to a few things said about me and around and about our overall ideology when it comes to the delineation movement under whatever. Because what they keep trying to say is what they keep doing is you have a whole lot of these men going around the internet right now, and they really, 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 really just don't like Tariq. And anyone within 2,000 feet of Tariq, they're going to try to throw shots at. And when it comes to delineation, they have nothing they can say about delineation, so they throw out ad hominem attacks on Tariq in order to thwart overall delineation. And as we all know in my chat room, because we talk about the fallacies and things like that, we know ad hominems are not real arguments. You can't throw and cast aspersions on one person and say this is what the whole thing means, no matter how much you try. That's why these videos that all these reaction videos y'all doing only got like 200 views, because nobody's listening to you. You dig? Hell yeah, I had to clutch my pearls. Like y'all be dropping that game. He be dropping that shit. You be like, oh, did he just say that? Woo. What's up, Space Rice Crispy? The Black Gemini. Salute to y'all. Alright, so I wanna let me see here. I'm gonna start off right here on a review of I'm gonna start off with a review of some things that happened on Black Alpha, then I'll get into talking about some of the stuff that I'm gonna talk about when they're talking about me. Let me see here. So let's get into it. And again, folks, you know, these people can say whatever they want to say about me. I don't give a shit. I mean, I don't want y'all spamming them or doing no shit like that. Everybody got a right to their opinion.
I'm in a different era. You will be checked on.
But this part isn't about me. This is something overall that Black Alpha and those guys addressed yesterday. I want to address a couple points that were brought up on their show yesterday. I got 2 timestamps, but I want y'all to hear this, and then we'll talk about it.
On site. You will be wrecked on site, and this stuff won't go. Let me play these dudes. I don't even know their names. That's how much bums they are and losers. But we're going to get right to it. Here we go, fam.
In fact, the people who Tariq Nasheed has pimped, and yes, I'm saying pimped, because I have firsthand. Hold on, let me back up.
He said, all right, first, he said Off top, that shows you that there's the Freudian slip right there. This is brother Asar, and I don't have nothing, no issues I have with Asar are personal. We just see things philosophically different. We are completely on different opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to how we view things. So I don't take anything he says personally. But I will just point out what's being said because he is trying to paint a lineage of people with a broad brush. And so since he's using such a broad brush to paint us as a lineage, there are certain things I have to say back in return. And watch this go back to NCEO's channel or Business Bully or Black Alpha, go to any one of their channels and watch this tomorrow. Or after you're done watching me. Watch their if you haven't seen their breakdown already, please watch the full length. Those some good brothers. But let me hear it again. Listen to this part again.
We'll get right to it. Here we go, fam.
In fact, the people who Tariq Nasheed has pimped, and yes, I'm saying pimped, because I have firsthand. Hold on, let me back up.
Freudian slip there, brother. Are you saying that man pimped you? And that's an honest question. It's an honest question. Because there have been people who you listen to, if they did something that you don't like, you can feel a certain way. Like, I remember when I gave a bunch of money to Dr. Umar's school, and I realized that school wasn't going to happen. I felt a certain way for a while. I've long since been over it. But for a little while, I felt a certain way. Like, damn, I ain't give him a lot of money, but I gave him what I had, and the school ain't coming. So I remember feeling a certain way. So when you have those type of Freudian slips, you want to make sure that you address it, because it's being mad at somebody is cool, but staying mad is not. Anger should only be a temporary part. It shouldn't be the long term. Like I got my issues with certain things people say. Like, I don't like the shit that Roland Martin say. I don't like the way Boyce Watkins was basically a gossip channel. But that was another one. I used to listen to a lot of Boyce Watkins until I kept watching, and I saw it went less into financial advising and more into gossip. And there was a time to where it was just like, damn, I done paid for this dude's classes. The fuck? But you don't stay there. You, at some point, you block them, they block you, or you just move on. You can't stay in that place of anger. It's just not good. It's not good for anybody's message, no matter what your message is. Because I believe in a open marketplace of ideas. I believe in a free marketplace of ideas. I'm never going to say, okay, shut the Pan-Africans up, shut the immigrants up. No, everybody deserves to talk. And because everybody has a point of view that's slightly different than theirs, and you're going to gravitate to whatever you seek. You're going to gravitate to whatever is in you. So if coonery is in you, there are a lot of coon ass niggas out here who you're going to gravitate to on YouTube. If you are more so into the one side of Pan-Africanism, then I believe in everybody talking. I don't believe in shutting nobody up. But whenever you're saying whatever you have to say, you want that bitterness gone, because people can pick it up and feel it. And when you can feel people's bitterness, though, to the objective people, they feel it, and it throws them off about your message. Now, other bitter people, they gonna jump right in and be like, yeah. But them motherfuckers ain't moving nothing. They gonna go right back to a job that they hate tomorrow. The bitter don't get too much done.
Not unconsciously. Well, what I'm saying, I have firsthand account. He pimped a lot of us. Those who participate and those who watch and view his mess. And what I'm saying is, I've talked to the elders before now. I'm talking about years ago. And they said Tariq is a mess. But You understand? I'm not a look. People who try to get an opportunity, I get it, but get in and get out. Tariq is not for us. Don't get stuck with that man. I get why people would take the opportunity, but
I don't. I can't speak to that. Look, you got to follow whatever you follow. You know what I mean? And if you feel he's not for you, then he's not for you. Like, who am I to tell you that you need to be following this man or not following this man? I don't give a fuck. But your message ain't hinging on his message. You know what I mean? Regardless of FBA, ADOS, or whatever movement you have that's out there, there's still always going to be people who subscribe to a Pan-African ideology. Those who subscribe to a Pan-African ideology, they need the people that's speaking their ideology to commit to them in a constructive manner. You can only go so long saying what somebody ain't doing. But again, like I said, I ain't got no issues with the brother. I just don't agree with him at all. But everything I've seen from him has been respectful. Unlike some people, he's been fairly respectful. I'm just going to agree disagree on the principle. Now I'm going to go to this part right here, and then I'm going to go to the next video.
Tariq is brilliant in that way that he uses the word lineage instead of our organization, our movement sometimes, things like that would point directly that he's a leader. So he says lineage instead of community.
This is like when you have a murder case and they arrest somebody and they did OJ. OJ wasn't the one that did it, and no one thought OJ did it the first few days. But out of nowhere, you see blood splats that wasn't there the original day of the investigation. You go and you find gloves, but the glove don't fit. You start tampering and moving and placing evidence to get a conviction on the person that you are focused on, instead of taking a step back and saying, okay, who really killed these people? The reason why the OJ case is so riveting 30 years later was because of all the, how easily the jury, who wasn't caught up in the media propaganda back and forth, they saw the evidence for what it was. It's that side propaganda when you try to make somebody guilty of something. The reason why, and if the brother Asar ever saw this, I would say the reason why your message isn't sticking is because those of us on this side of the fence, we're not looking at Tariq. We're looking at our own family lineage. And I see other people that claim FBA that I don't like. I don't want to be in an organization with a lot of these niggas. I be looking at some of the shit that they be saying, and I don't want to be part of that. It's not but that's what Nitty Fuller says, VGQ. So although somebody else is quote unquote FBA or whatever they go by, Friedman, it doesn't mean that we're an organization. It doesn't mean that we click and get along. But it does mean that in spite of my differences from that other brother, they're still entitled to the same reparations I'm entitled to. They're still entitled to the same classification by the United States government as I'm entitled to. Because we're never going to see things the right way. But he got two parents that can trace their lineage back to slavery. I got two parents that can trace our lineage back to slavery. We're all a part of the same lineage. And that's what a lot of us are focused on. And you're not going to be able to use your rhetoric to convince people otherwise. So you can talk all day about Tariq. What it does is it just makes people look at you like, okay, why do you keep talking about Tariq? I'm not going to say the disrespectful shit to him that I said about that other guy. I stand by what I said to that other nigga. But I'm just saying, And it's okay to disagree with somebody else and not see, you know, and not be a part of that quote unquote organization, because it's not an organization no matter how. So what you might want to do is you might want to change up your approach, because the only people that you're going to convince this is an organization are tethers and people who can't do anything about it. And I want to say something else about the word tether. I like the word tether. And the reason why I like the word tether is because tether gets exactly to the point. It doesn't conflate those people with immigrants who are just cool as hell. It doesn't conflate the two. Because all immigrants aren't tethers. And I believe in exact wording of things. I believe in that. I believe in being right and exact with how you describe people. If somebody is 3'7" with a big ass head and little ass limbs, he's a midget, not a little person. A little person is a grown ass man that's 5'4", 5'3". That's a little person. A midget got a big ass head and little knees. You know exactly what I mean when I say midget. I don't care if somebody says, "Oh, the word is offensive." Well, you knew what I was talking about, didn't you? Words matter. Words matter. Because all immigrants ain't bad. There's some immigrants that come over here and they align with us. There's some immigrants who come over here and they break bread with us. And they just want to get their weight up, get their money up, and raise their families. But they do that without getting in our way. That's an immigrant. A tether is somebody that fumbles and stumbles and gets in our way and undermines us. It's a right and exact word. That's what I mean by clearing up the Pan-African dust cloud. The Pan-Africans are throwing a lot of clouds. Like what they're doing is they're making things dusty where you can't see clearly what's going on. And what that's doing is it causes and raises confusion when you do that. You now group people who don't belong in that pot all in one. So now this is the brother again, Asar. He was on Moorish World TV. And, you know, Taharka's done a couple videos about me. He did one about me a few years ago. He does videos about anybody he thinks is associated or he sees associated with Tariq Nasheed. And ever since, you know, and I've never done a response video to Taharka. And I'm still not even going to really go in on Taharka because we all know Taharka's whole thing is to get people associated with Tariq and do a series of videos on them. Get a button, and that's how he gets his that's how he gets his views. But I will address a couple things that were said. You know, I will address a couple things that were said. Because again, I ain't got no problems with the Moors, you know. I think the Moors be dropping some good information. You know, the Moors, it's like anything else. The Moors are like the Hebrew Israelites. They're like the Nation of Islam. They're like Christians. You got some that are really on their shit and really got some information, but most of them are full of shit. No different than Christians, no different than Hoteps and all kinds of other groups of people. Yeah, Target's been eating up Tariq videos for years, but I listened. But when I saw Tariq slap him, that just made me be like, all right. When Tariq slapped him and he didn't do nothing back, I was like, okay, what am I going? Why am I going? I'm not going to go back and forth with this guy. Because people I respect would at least gotten their ass whooped, and not fly 3,000 miles to only get slapped. It would have either been somebody would have been going home because I don't believe in violent confrontation. That's why I would never fly to nobody's place. I would never go to nobody's establishment to talk about them, because if I go to where you are, that means you're accepting whatever fate comes your way. And I ain't here to fight nobody. I just have differences of opinion. But if you fly 3,000 miles to go to somebody's establishment and you get slapped and you run, what else can I say? But this is your second. This is a few times you've brought me up, so I'm just gonna go ahead and respond to some things you said. I put the image over it. I'm gonna play the audio. Yeah, you got slapped with a body cam. It's like you should never see this. And then those two don't go together. Those two don't go together. If you just stayed, I would have more respect if you just say whatever you had to say from the comfort of your home and use Google Earth to make whatever demonstration you got to make. Don't fly away to LA and get slapped back to DC or Baltimore, wherever you're from. That's just not cool.
Let me get to my point. Dwan B was saying one thing about FBA, and the other guy was like in opposition to what Dwan B was saying. Case in point, Dwan B was talking like the strict FBA, that this is our land, type of rhetoric, right? And we delineating, et cetera, not in that order. But then the other brother here, he says, my baby mother is Jamaican. Did you catch that part?
He said, I think he said my children. Yeah.
He was talking about Sincere, saying his baby mother's Jamaican. I want to address that part. Black Americans, people who claim FBA, we still don't hate people. And Sincere's a good dude. I don't want to speak for Sincere, but he's a good dude. I still don't hate Jamaicans. I'm going to talk some shit. I don't hate Africans. I don't hate nobody. And a lot of black people were not on delineation 10, 15, 20 years ago. The reason why the delineation happened was because of over years of observation of how groups are treated. There are always cool individuals within groups. But overall, how does your group view my group, and how does your group take advantage of what my group created? So I don't see that as a negative to Sincere. And I think the brother here, sorry, I think he said his wife is Jamaican. I would never go to him and be like, "Oh, look at you, you got a Jamaican wife, huh? That's who you love." You know what I mean? Like, I don't count that against nobody, you know, and some do some people who call themselves FBA count that against people? Probably. But that's the whole point of the whole thing. Is we go back to needy footer, VGQ, Victims Guaranteed Qualification. And if somebody sees an issue, like just off what Taharka is saying, and this is what respect to Taharka, like just based off what you just said, yeah, me and Sincere is different. You know what I mean? But just because he has a Jamaican, his baby's the mother of his child is Jamaican, it don't make him or anything less he says any different. That's cool. You know? So that sort of answers your own question. That automatically, Brother Asar, takes it away from us being a group, an organization. Because I'm literally on an interview right next to a man that has a baby mama that's from the islands. And it's all good. Because it's not an organization. People got the right to go with it however they go with it. Now I'm going to go to this part.
At the end of the day, when we get to Dwan B, he always have a shirt on that says Hotep.
Really?
Yeah, I can pull it up right now.
Look, he said, I always have a shirt on that says Hotep. I don't have any shirt that says Hotep. I have a shirt that says Hotep-ish.
Pull up. So the point that I'm
is it a joke?
Listen, yes.
no.
See, it's
No,
hard.
he's been wearing it before
Listen to this part.
FBA.
Oh, he's been following me that long. He said, the one was wearing it before FBA. Goddamn, brother. And yeah, I have the term Hotep-ish trademark too.
Always.
You gonna say I'm griffing off of it?
Have a shirt on that says Hotep.
Really?
Yeah, I can pull it up right now. So the point that I'm
is it a joke?
No, he's been wearing it before FBA.
Oh, okay. He was saying that he used to be in that.
Yeah, but the point that I'm making is,
those of you who've been here for a long time, y'all know Hotep-ish, intelligent-ish talk. When I used to call this show Hotep-ish, I just pulled back because it was kind of a spin off the show Blackish, where the reason why I called the show Hotep-ish and I named it Hotep-ish was because it's like I love my black folks. I love being black. I'm down with the Hoteps. It's just that you're not gonna see me wearing a fucking kufi. You're not gonna see me. I'm gonna eat pork, and I'm not going back to Africa. Yes, it was a joke. It was a play on words. It was, I'm all the way down with my people. But I ain't going back to Africa. That's why it was ish. Tarka. Ish means something
push themselves as this FBA voice, but run around with African symbols, even to this day. You know what I mean? Even to this day. He
doesn't. I mean, if you listen.
He said, even to this day. When's the last time I told y'all to go to this website? What is saying this shit for? Oh, I lost my SS. Look, Hotepish.com. Look at this. It says page doesn't exist. I stopped. Hotepish.com was where you used to have. That's where you used to have to go to buy my t-shirts, my merch. I still own the domain, but I took that website down when I opened up DeWanB.com. I opened up DeWanB.com 2 years ago. And I have all I do right here. The entertainment side, Hotepish. Page doesn't exist. Incense and ashtrays. Getting that back going. That's my music brand. Business side. Got my card reading company. I'm very open. I got my advocacy company, Breakthrough. That's all on DeWanB.com. The only inactive link is Hotepish.com because I don't use it. It wore out as funny. It was funny and catchy for a little while. It is not funny and catchy anymore. That's why I stopped using it. But I still own the trademark and the domain. But you can't say you research and that's what you come back with. I don't still use it. But if I did still use it, I would stand on it. I just don't use it no more because it's not funny to me. It might be funny from when I started using it in 2019. And then y'all can go back and look. And I might have it here on YouTube. When I decided to go with the word Hotepish, I was interviewing the homegirl Daphne Springs. Y'all know Daphne Springs. She does all the sketches and shit on Facebook. She came down on my show. I was doing at this radio station before I got on YouTube. And I was like, I think I'm going to rename the show and I'm going to call it Hotep-ish, to where I'm black, but I'm pro-black, but I still eat pork. That was the whole thing. And I explained it on air. Like, this is very open. Your level of, this should make you question somebody when they talk about how good of a researcher they are. You can't say someone's a good researcher and say somebody still uses a term that they don't even have a whole fucking website for anymore. But let's keep going.
Listen to the interview. He doesn't really he's not really locked down to anything. He doesn't really,
right.
He doesn't strongly agree or disagree with too much. If you look at the entire interview, he even agreed at the end. I said that he sees things in complex ways and nuance, but he doesn't like to be put in boxes. And you have people like that. He approaches this very differently. It doesn't really matter to him.
I respect that, Asar, because it doesn't. What other people do and how other people see it doesn't matter to me. Everybody got the right to approach this thing the way they want to approach this thing. And I saw somebody in the shops that y'all said y'all still want a Hotep's t-shirt. I saw that. Somebody said they want a Hotep's t-shirt. You can still get one in the shop. I gotta reorganize this. But everything that was in a Hotep's shop is now in the DewanB.com shop. You can still get a Hotep's t-shirt right now on DewanB.com/shop. Go ahead and get the Hotep's t-shirt right now at DewanB.com/shop. It's still for sale. You still can get it in the shop, all right? This is if you pro-black and you love your people. But shit, you ain't going back to no goddamn Africa. I don't want to go on an African. I do want to go to see the pyramids one day. But shit, will I ever go to Nigeria? Unless it's some money on the line, probably hell no. No, and I don't apologize for that. You know, if it's some shit to where it's like, okay, I'm being paid to go out there, I'll go. I'm not gonna pay no money to go out there. No, for what? My people from here. That's why I'm Hotep-ish. Not all the way.
Sees it as a frivolous, pointless argument, and he doesn't really care.
Like right here on this shirt, he have Dr. John Henry Clark. Dr. John Henry Clark clearly is a Pan-Africanist.
Dr. John Henry Clark is also Dr. John Henry Clark has also talked about the greatness of the African in America, the Black American. And I love Dr. John Henry Clark. And I was hella on my Pan-African shit when I first found out about Dr. John Henry Clark decades ago. But it was through being a Pan-Africanist for decades. Like I said before, my church, back in the early 90s, we used to give to this other church in Nigeria with this man named Bishop Edahosa. We used to do like every fifth Sunday, my church had a specialty offering to give to churches in Nigeria. And we did that. And I proudly, and I don't regret it. But the church I was raised in was very, very much so on the Pan-African tip. So that was most of my life on that tip. I just one day said enough is enough. Tired of being used. As humans, are we not allowed that right? If we're not, like, as humans, are we not allowed the right to go and grow and be like, okay, today it was this, yesterday it was this, today it's that? Are we not allowed to grow? Talk to me 15 years ago. If you talked to me 20 years ago, I wouldn't have said nothing about John Henry Clark. It would have been all about Jesus back 20 years ago. If you was asked me 20, 25 years ago, I'd have been like, Jesus is the reason for the season. We in Christmas time. It's all about Jesus. This is what I would have been on 20, 25 years ago. 25 years ago, I thought Al Sharpton was somebody that was worth listening to 20, 25 years ago. I used to listen to some Al Sharpton. I used to listen to Roland Martin's news break on News One on BET. Remember the Roland Martin news break on Video Soul? I used to watch the Roland Martin news break 20, 25 years ago. My favorite morning show was the Steve Harvey Morning Show 25 years ago. It's a lot of shit that I was on 25 years ago that I'm nowhere near now. If you want to call in, I'll open the lines up a little bit later. I'm nowhere near where I was 25 years ago, let alone 10 years ago. So, yeah, there was a time I was very much so on Pan-Africanism. You live and you learn. And I'll be damned if somebody takes away my right to live and learn. That's why, like what Asar said, that's why I don't be so hard on people, because we all go through growth. We all go through changes in our life. Sometimes you own something, then you get a new bit of information, or you observe something and it changes how you see things. Louis Luck says, instead of worrying about Tariq or FBA, he needs to do live streams about thyroid water and his eyebrows got his eyes popping out his face. You niggas are stupid. Yeah, hate is one of the strongest emotions. That's right, Landon. Red 6 said Michael Eric Dyson. Yeah, right. I listen to a whole lot of proclivilous, versivolous Michael Eric Dyson. Man, I used to listen to a lot of Michael Eric Dyson. I used to listen to a lot of Cornel West. You talk to me 2010, I thought Dr. Michael Eric Dyson and Dr. Cornel West, had the plan. I still like Cornel West. But the shit that Michael Eric Dyson been on lately, I don't know. I ain't got no issues with either one, but I used to be, look, man, look at this. Let me see if I can find it. And I still got love for Cornel West, just not the way I just don't follow him the way I used to. Look at this. Oh no, it's not in here. Damn it. There was an album that Dr. Cornel West had about 15 years ago and I went and bought his album. Wouldn't do that shit today. I'm always about updating because you want to always keep your information up to date and the way you view things up to date, because you live and you learn and you grow. Life is about growth. So if somebody has an issue with where you were 10 years ago, that's their issue. Let's break this down even further. He said, listen to what he said. This is a man that says he does his research. You don't do that good of research, my brother.
Be matter to him. He sees it as a frivolous, pointless argument, and he doesn't really care.
Like right here on this shirt, he have Dr. John Henry Clark. Dr. John Henry Clark clearly is a Pan-Africanist. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, by the way, I still got that shirt, and you can get it at DewanB.com right now. Go to DewanB.com/shop, and you can get that hoodie. You can get it in a hoodie. You can get it in a t-shirt. Dr. John Henry Clark. Black people don't owe anybody anything but an ass whooping. And as a proud FBA/freedman/Negro/Black American, I stand by that. We don't. This is a great shirt. This is a great anti-Pan-Africanism shirt. It's saying that Black Americans, we don't owe nobody shit. We don't owe Pan-Africans. We don't owe white people. We don't owe Mexicans. We don't owe Asians. We don't owe Pakistanis. We don't owe these motherfuckers in Minnesota. We don't owe nobody shit. I stand by this. I love this. This is my best-selling hoodie. This is my Black American Music Family Tree. Those are my best-selling items. Get yours right now at DewanB.com/shop. Thank you for the ad. And then let's look at this. This flyer he's using is from an interview I did with Nicey Girl and Sincere maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I haven't done, like we did, me and Sincere did our show together, did that show with Dr. Ma'at together a couple weeks ago, but they don't even use these logos anymore. I don't use that Incense and Ashtrays logo anymore. And because I don't have a Spotify or Incense and Ashtrays anymore. And I stopped using that Hotepish banner 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. Both of these logos, neither of these logos I've used since 2022. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to move the timeline up to make it look like, and I still stand behind it because again, I still own the trademark the Hotepish. I still own the trademark the Incense and Ashtray. I'm not backing off of it because Instant Ashtrays is still active. I'm not backing away from it. I'm just saying this is an old ass flyer. This before I started growing a beard. Chat. I started growing my beard out of what? About 2021? 21, 22? I haven't been beardless shit for at least 3 years. God damn, how far back did you go?
And this show was on Sincere Love the Godcast. And Intelligent-ish Talk Hotepish, hosted by Dwan B. This was his thing and continue. I don't.
Intelligent-ish talk. Intelligent shit talk. That was the moniker. Intelligent-ish talk. Where we talk intelligent-ish. And we talk a whole lot of shit. Hotep-ish. I was very clear. I explained when I used to introduce this show as Hotep-ish, I used to introduce it like that every single time. I used to play. If I still have the audio, my computer crashing is the reason why I don't have the audio anymore. It's the reason why I don't have the audio anymore of the voiceover from my homegirl Kendra. But my homegirl Kendra even had a voiceover, and she since damn, she does stuff all over YouTube, like for Disney now. The homegirl that had the voiceover. Let me see if I can find it in my email. Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna play it if I hear it. I think I found it. I found the raw file.
You're listening to Hotep-ish with your host.
This is how you start the show. This is the raw file before I edited it in. Listen to the homegirl Kendra. This is how every show was introduced.
You're listening to Hotep-ish with your host, Dwan B. Intelligent-ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversations and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door. You're listening to Hotep-ish with your host, Dwan B. Intelligent-ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
That's the raw file before I did all my editing that I used to do to it. Yeah, Cobra Girl, you remember this introduction? Yeah. Only reason I got rid of it because my computer crashed, and I just never went back into GarageBand to redo it. I probably should one day, but that's the homegirl. She was just on a couple Disney Pixar films, doing voiceovers on one of their last cartoons. I forgot which one, but she worked for Disney now. She do voiceovers for Toyota. She do voiceovers for. We went to high school together. Yeah, salute to Kendra for that introduction. That shit probably cost me $100,000 now with the money she making. But yeah, if you're going to say you do research, be right and exact about your research, man. All Sincere's in here. Salute to Sincere Little Guy. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. Y'all subscribe to the Godcast, him and Nicey Girl.
Don't understand how the attacks are against Africa, whether it's Nigeria.
Not attacking Africa, responding to Africa, responding to the Caribbean, responding to people saying that our music is Caribbean. It's a response. When I came out, this is my first video on this. When I had enough Black American roots. Let's see if I can find it. This was one of the early shows that I did really coming out the bag when it came to this. When I did a show breaking down the Black American roots of world music. Y'all go look that up. I'm gonna put that over on Patreon. That's when this was a response video to what people were saying. Here, look, listen to the original intro right here. This is the original intro.
You're listening to Hotep Ish.
The hell happened?
Intelligent Ish Talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
As our show you start, in this video that I did, this was right before I came out with my Black American Music Family Tree. I was showing y'all, this was the raw bones of my music family tree before I made it into artwork. With the rap and the rhythms of the rhymer going in. And this was a response video to some shit that Busta Rhymes said about Black American music and the Black American culture. And a lot of people out there were lying about Black American culture. So I created, that's what made me start this. It's not that I hate Africans or I'm against Africans. I'm against people taking our shit. And if I got the proof and the evidence to show that they taking our shit, I'm going to talk about it. And Bruce said I'm going to give myself a strike. Well, somebody else might get a strike. Because then there was this other show that I did that I saw on YouTube. People were tagging me in this. Some dude made a video about my video. Can't even spell my name right. But somebody had an issue with my video. Somebody had an issue with my video.
Foundations.
And listen to some of the shit that he says, and then we're going to talk about it. Again, this is somebody named Javen Bernardez. So that means they Mexican. So off top, we dealing with a Mexican. We're not dealing with somebody that's one of us. We don't have names like Bernardez. He's a Mexican. Well, he might be a Dominican or whatever, but I'm from LA. So whether you're Dominican, Puerto Rican, you're Mexican. To us. Listen to some of this bullshit that he said. And then we're going to look at some of the comments. It's this kind of shit is the reason why I talk the way I talk. I'd rather not be talking about African music and stuff like that because I don't like African music that much. But I talk about it because of what y'all talk about with me.
They're erasing Black foundations. That's the title of this video. New York gatekeepers are lying. They're erasing Black foundations. You see what happened? Y'all took all that gatekeeping stuff, and now New York is gatekeeping their culture, aka hip hop. Now y'all crying. But let's
see. This is a Mexican Tether saying that we're lying about our Black American culture. What's up, y'all? Sorry. Using my video without asking for permission.
I know. Keep it going though.
Let's listen to some of this reaction.
You would have just got into the up to, but keep it. Why his hope for you?
Let me go back. I want y'all to hear how dumb these niggas sound. I want to start off by saying, no, I'm not going to use the word tether. I'm not going to use that on him.
You just did use it on him.
Now, I'll literally be saying I'm not going to use the word tether on Grandmaster Flash because I don't. I'm not going to call him a tether. But this tether has an issue with me saying Grandmaster Flash is not a tether. You notice how the tether has an issue with me saying, okay, let me correct the history of this immigrant because he's starting the story in 1970. And he even says, Flash in an interview even said he started the story in 1970. You can't start a story at the beginning. You got to start a story at the beginning before the beginning. What led to the action? If you're going to talk about a tree, you got to understand the soil and the seed. You cannot judge a tree by after it's been alive for 100 years and it grew a new branch. And now you want to grow and judge that new branch of a tree instead of taking it back to the root and the stock. That's all I was doing with respect to Grandmaster Flash. But since this dude's a tether, he feels a certain kind of way. and listen to this bullshit.
Just even saying like, oh, I'm not going to use it on them, you're letting your audience know that Grandmaster Flash has black immigrant ancestry. So they're going to call him a tether for you.
He said, I'm going to call him a tether for me. No, don't speak to me. Please don't speak for me. And I see already this video's been in here for 11 hours, and it's doing way better than any video that he's done.
That's no different than somebody saying, well, I'm not going to call him the N-word. Why your whole audience calls the person the N-word? Come on, man. We're not stupid.
No, you're not. You're very stupid. Are you stupid than a motherfucker? Don't give yourself that much credit.
But keep it going.
Because I respect. That shows the tether had an issue with me delineating between the tether and the immigrant.
But look, I knew it.
I tell y'all not to. You dig? But as I was,
I knew it. Look, I didn't even watch this video. Look, I knew it.
I didn't even watch this video. This dude's doing a breakdown on my video without watching the whole video. He's trying to tell people that I'm wrong. And he didn't watch the video. That's like literally the definition of stupid. He said I'm not stupid, and then said I'm going to break down a video that I didn't watch. No, that's kind of stupid. And the reason why that's stupid is you end up crossing yourself over the way you did a little bit earlier. When you said that, when you saw that I wasn't willing to call Grandmaster Flash a tether. That confused the fuck out of you. You didn't know how to handle that because you thought one thing, but you're not smart enough to think with me, homie.
Oh, I'm not going to call him a tether, but I'm not going to stop y'all from calling him a tether. And I wouldn't even tell y'all not to call him a tether. Come on, man.
Yes. I can't control how these other people think. If my chat room want to call him a tether, who the fuck am I to tell them not to? I can't tell these people how to talk. If people want to call people whatever, if somebody wanted to call you a cousin fucker, what could I do to tell them not to? And Javin, he had like a little video where he had me eating a hot dog, like the fat jokes. I mean, you know the fat jokes are gonna come right back. You know, people gonna have to recycle the same fat jokes they've been saying since the 3rd grade, but you don't show your face, all right? More than enough is said about that. It's probably because you got a grill that don't match the rest of you about everything else going on. Your teeth got spaces in between them. You got 6 teeth on the top of your mouth so you don't show your picture. I don't respect it. If my fat ass can get on camera with all 2 of my chins and be loud and proud, you can get on camera too. But you not. Because you a Mexican and you probably look like Kid Ray on Lean on Me. You probably look like Kid Ray after he got his ass whooped. Wearing a suit that don't match. Because you don't know how to dress like a brother. This nigga, in real life, you look like you probably like Kid Ray and that drug dealer that whooped his ass had a baby together. And that's why you don't get on camera. In this interview, as he was talking about hip-hop history, I was really thinking this dude, hip-hop generation.
The black person who allegedly invented it. Black people do
nothing than the message. That tends to be the...
There's some truth to that. There's some truth to that. I can't lie. There's some truth to that. Black people do not know their history, their musical history at all. The average black person that will tell you that black people invented rock and roll can't tell you a damn thing about rock and roll. Or the black person who allegedly invented it can't name a song. None of it.
I could tell you one. Ike Turner, Rocket 88. First rock and roll song, one of the first rocket songs categorized as rock and roll was by Ike Turner in 1951, Rocket 88. Rock and roll is a very popular term. I could tell you how rock and roll is black. And rock and roll came out, just like R&B, they both came out of the jump blues. Okay. I do know the history. Don't conflate people who don't know their music history with me. I know very clear on the history of rock and roll. Sister Rosetta Tharpe, John Lee Hooker. It wasn't one person. It was T-Bone Walker. It was these people that were there before Little Richard. Then you got to get to Sister Rosetta Tharpe, T-Bone Walker, John Lee Hooker. You got to get to these guys before you get to Little Richard, before you get to Chuck Berry. Little Richard and Chuck Berry is the one that took it off into the stratosphere. But there's a story before Little Richard and Chuck Berry that includes Louis Jordan, Cab Calloway, Fats Waller. You're right. He probably thought rock and roll was invented by Elvis. What's up, Delano L?
That was just something they heard on the internet. They didn't even bother to do the research to see if it was true or not. And the majority of black people don't even know that. But yeah, you're right. Keep it going.
Typical hip-hop person's mindset when it comes to music. So he's no different than most people in hip-hop. So I'm not about to talk shit about him. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go through his Drink Champs interview, and we're going to talk about some of the things that he says and why, and that, you know, he's making it and attributing it to hip-hop. And we're going to show and prove why that's not a hip-hop thing. It's just it's a continuum. But at the same time, I am going to throw my shots at New York. Yes, I am.
Of course you are, because you're a hater, and you know New York is the best.
He doesn't understand the word continuum. You know, he doesn't understand the word continuum, and that the word continuum confuses stupid people. You dig what I'm saying?
Of course you are, because you're a hater, and you know New York is the best. Y'all mad that New York has been the cultural capital of black people for over 120 years straight to this day.
That's not true. New York isn't the cultural capital. If you're going, first of all, there is no one capital. But if you're going to name a capital, this moved. Chicago was, this time 100 years ago, Chicago, actually, this time 125 years ago, Kansas City was a cultural capital. And St. Louis. When you go into the 1900s, they had their Renaissance first. Before New York had its Harlem Renaissance, Kansas City was a cultural capital. New Orleans was one of them. Memphis was one. And then as you got to the turn of the century, it became Chicago. And Chicago was just as strong of a capital in America during the time of the Harlem Renaissance as New York. Because during the Harlem Renaissance, New York got swing from Kansas City. New York got bebop from Kansas City. The major jazz hubs of New York, and all throughout Harlem, those are all music that came out of Kansas City. Something else you didn't know, you fucking tether. When you eat a banana, the shit look like a football field's hash marks because of all the gaps in your teeth. Okay? That comes out of Kansas City. And Chicago, at the same time, was giving us the blues. The blues as we know it really got cold. Even though the blues comes from the Mississippi Delta, the blues that went around the world, chess records and everything, all comes out of Chicago. It was the Chicago distributors that was sending records over to Europe that eventually the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and those groups would learn from. The reason why the Beatles and the Rolling Stones knew blues was because it was the Chicago printing presses that was sending those records over to Europe. Chicago is also where we get gospel. Tom Dorsey. Chicago's where Louis Armstrong meets up with King Oliver's Creole Jazz Band and becomes, Louis Armstrong became Louis Armstrong in Chicago before he went to New York in the 20s. He got to Chicago in the teens. And Chicago is what made Louis Armstrong before he went to New York. New York is a place where people went to after they were already good. It wasn't a cultural hub at the time. People moved to New York and made it a hub in the 20s and the 30s. But it wasn't the only hub. Philadelphia never lost its stripes. And by the time you get to the 60s, it's right back to Chicago, not New York. 50s and the 60s, it was Chicago Record Row. Brunswick Records, Mercury Records, VJ Records, black-owned VJ Records. That was a happening place for black artists, was Chicago. Then Detroit. Even disco, when New York got his way back up and went into disco in the 70s, disco's born in LA. Disco's born in Philadelphia. And disco went from LA to New York. From Philadelphia to New York. Y'all didn't create that shit. Just Studio 54 happened to be the most famous disco club on the planet. But New York ain't where disco started. Disco had a polygenesis in LA and Philadelphia. That's why don't never listen to nobody talk about me that can't show their goddamn face on camera. Yes, so some of y'all in the chat room, y'all said that he's from, he's part Tether, part foundational. Well, his Tether side was probably Dominican incest. And that's why the nigga's stupid. You know? You was on some Ileana Omar shit. Your cousin that was your uncle that was already here in America. Yeah. Your mama went and fucked your uncle so she can have you as an anchor baby. That's what happened. But what happens when your mama fucks your uncle for you to be an anchor baby, what that does is it creates developmental delays. And you say dumb shit like you're saying right here.
People think black, they think New York black. 80% of what people think is black and cool came from New York.
That's not true. Like, the reason why West Coast hip hop is so different is because honestly, a lot of us in LA, we think a lot of y'all corny. All that loud talking. No, what's up, son? That's just corny to us. We not, y'all like in New York hip hop in the 70s, y'all wore like marshmallows, them shoes. You don't see no fucking marshmallows out here in LA. Yeah, y'all got Tim's. I think Tim's is like the only thing. And if it is New York, it's going to be Harlem. Dapper Dan. But one thing about Black America, cool is local. What Cass is dressing like in LA is going to be different than what Cass is dressing like in Houston. And what's cool in Birmingham is going to be different than what's cool in Atlanta. That's the beauty of our culture. Not one place owns any of this shit. You truly a Black American, you know that it's different styles for different regions. I was watching the Joe Budden podcast, and they were talking about how many coats should a man have. And Ish was like 20 coats. I'm thinking, LA, nigga, 0. Well, we do have coats in LA. LA niggas got a coat for when we fly east. We ain't got no goddamn coats. The fuck you need a coat here for? If it's too cold to wear a hoodie, I'm probably not going out. The fuck you look like? Now some people might have a coat here in LA, but when I listened to the Joe Budden podcast talk about that, I was thinking like, shit. How many coats do I have? I got one for when I fly east. But that's it. I don't need more coats than that. But according to their discussion, a band need a bunch of coats. But if I'm in New York, that makes sense because y'all cold to the motherfucker. DC, Philadelphia, Chicago. If you're from the Midwest or the East Coast, that makes sense. If you from LA, that sounds dumb as fuck. The fuck you need them many coats for? You ain't gonna wear them. So, no, people don't think of New York. They think of Black America.
Popularized in New York, standardized in New York, spread throughout the country and the world through New York. Stay mad.
Chicago, I mean, Kanye was one of the hottest designers over the last, 15 years? Kanye from Chicago. Because there are also parts in this interview where interview
Was doing produce hip hop. No.
here it is.
Did what
Was doing in Oakland when we played Go Through Our Too Short Oakland at the same time.
that's immaterial. So what, he was doing the same thing at the same time.
This is how
Did
stupid this
what
nigga
did
is.
what
Listen, attributing to Bronx culture and Bronx this and Bronx that we can show when we play Go Through Our Too Short interview, when we go the same things that was happening in the Bronx in 81, 82, Too Short was doing in Oakland at the same time.
that's immaterial. So what, he was doing the same thing at the same time. Did what Too Short was doing at the same time produce hip hop? No.
He said it's immaterial that Too Short creating hip hop in his own way in Oakland was going on at the same time New York was creating theirs. No, you dummy. That's what a researcher calls evidence of separate cultures coming into one. If you're in any, this dude never went to school. I doubt he has a 10th grade. I doubt he passed 10th grade. Because if you're doing research and I say, hey, something had or like when you talk about the origin of something, you got to talk about, okay, this is going on here, that's what's going on there. And when you get presented with that evidence, it changes the conclusion. Because the thought process is hip hop was refined in New York and it didn't get on the road until NWA in 1988. That's how the popular story is told. The popular story is everything is 100% New York until NWA. And they leave out the 10 years of West Coast hip hop that led to NWA. NWA was the second generation of West Coast hip hop. So all I did was show and prove that hip hop was going on here in LA. And he says, not hip. Okay, if it's not hip hop, name it, outside of Grandmaster Flash and LL, Curtis Blow, name the New Yorker that's been rapping longer than Too Short. Matter of fact, LL and Too Short started the same year, about 1979, 1980. And that's what I got directly in the conversation with Too Short, directly on the phone. They started the same year. So that matters. It's called evidence. That's how you go from, see, chat room, that's how you ascend from hater to evidence. Hating is saying, man, New York didn't create nothing. And man, it's shit. We started doing it and we doing it and I come up with a number like way later. Like, we didn't start till 1992, but still fuck them. That's hating shit. But if I show you, no, not only did we start at the beginning, Too Short himself said that he used New York for the blueprint as to what not to do. So if he's not doing anything New York is doing, but he still is the same man that wrote Blow the Whistle 30 years into his career, that means there's more to the story than a single lineage of sound. You dig what I'm saying? Hey, Kim at TV, I open the phone line. Call in. You got a cartoon for a profile. Let me open up the phone line. I'm opening the phone line now because I know some of y'all want to call in. Some of y'all want to call in. Call in, Kim at TV. Matter of fact, they didn't have TV in Kemet. Nigga, shouldn't your name be Kemet Books or some shit like that? Kemet Nile River? Ain't Kemet TV. You ain't supposed to be watching TV in Kemet. My new line still isn't up, so call the old line. 323-388-3315. You got issue with what I'm saying, Kemet TV? Call in. My line is open. 323, call the second number. 323-388-3315. Call in. Because we got to talk about this. I don't mean any disrespect to nobody, you know what I mean? But yeah, when you hide behind a profile and you just say a whole bunch of dumb stuff sounding stupid, then yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. Now, Kimmy TV, call in so I can cry into your mama's lap. Smelling like yesterday's fish market. 323 388 3315. Call in right now. Oh, it's in my browser. Might be fitting calls from ringing. Okay. Call in. Oh, somebody just called in. Call back 310. Why is this shit not ringing? Let me see here. It's just not ringing. I said, don't disturb this groove. Three, 2, 3. There we go.
Call from
Brother Lucky.
Brother Lucky.
to accept.
What's up, Brother Lucky? Where you calling from?
Oh, man, I'm calling from out here in Temecula, man, Southern California, out here in the wine country. I'm sure you know where that's at.
Oh, yeah, Temecula. What's on your mind, brother?
Oh, man, nothing much, man. I just wanted to big you up, man. You're doing a wonderful job. And also just speak on, man, what's up with this nigga, Ankh, man? This nigga is the weirdest dude I ever seen on YouTube. Ankh, the pseudo dude that say pseudo 1,000 times and flim-flamming 1,000 times and all that weird shit, man. I'm FBA, man, but I happen to have lived in East Africa with my wife and kids, so I kind of have a different perspective. Kind of like you, I kind of let them know we don't hate nobody, man, just because, you know, you see certain factions online of people who have certain personal beefs. I let them know we FBA, we for us, but we don't hate Africans and Caribbeans. But if you could just kind of speak on Ankh a little bit, really, the pseudo dude, the weirdo, and just let you know, man, you're doing a wonderful job, man, and I'm an avid listener, brother.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I speak on that. The Ankh guy's been doing like a whole bunch of shows about the interview. Man, Sincere, Sincere must have really gotten his ass, like must have really gotten his mind, because ever since that interview, they've been going around talking about reviewing Sincere and Nicey Girl show, and then me, and dudes has been going around calling everybody pseudo. But when he had a chance to talk to the real deal and talk, and we all got to see it on screen, we all got to see it live and in action, and he know the fuck he was talking about. He was going off of using a whole bunch of misnomers, using a whole bunch of strong arguments, and he's somebody that don't want to learn. He want to be right. And me, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I'm not gonna speak unless I can prove to you I'm right. There's some things that I think that if I'm in a debate, if I'm talking to somebody, I'm not gonna bring up what I think or feel, because I can't prove what I think or feel. I'm only gonna bring up what I can prove, and that's why. And so when he tried to go in and do that, he's used to dealing with people who don't know how to handle those out who throw strong arguments, and so his best thing was just to go on a whole bunch of other people's shows and explain his case, because he couldn't explain it when he was live in front of me. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from? Oh, I guess they hung up. We can call back, caller. I was right here. I was about to say what's up, but so yeah, people call people pseudo all you want, but I don't remember Ankh putting out a degree. When they're talking about where you qualify from, I don't remember him putting out a college degree. Do you? Oh shit, it's finally working. The Zoom is working. What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Hey, dog. Hey, dog. Hey, dog. What's up? This is different.
What up, brother? What's on your mind?
That dude, like, I don't know what dude's problem is, but I like him to say that shit face to face to you. Like, he talking all that shit, but if he's face to face, I bet you it'll be crickets in that motherfucker. He's the type of people where he think that he can punk you because that's the main thing I'm getting from him. It's not the dashiki man. It's the other one who always think he's right when he's not. Sounds dumb as hell.
Yeah, the brother with the daishiki, we just disagree, but he's not disrespectful. You know, at least to me.
It's not him. It's the other one that talks the most. The one that don't know how to shut the fuck up when when other people are talking. Yeah, him. His bitch ass. Like, I used to beat guys up like him in high school, man. Like, that's all he has to be is face to face. I like y'all to have an interview where y'all
hold on 1 second, different.
Yeah,
What up, caller? Hold on 1 minute. I'll get right to you.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, different.
Yeah, but I like to have like.
Hello,
hey, bro,
Dewan, you hear me?
Hold on, brother.
You.
All right.
I really would like to see you and him have a face to face, like where y'all sitting in the same room, like that African dude and the one I forgot that man named Dave, like Dave who had to check that African scholar guy. I like to see y'all sit in the room with his ass and talk that bullshit and try to call somebody stupid, because somebody might end up getting the shit smacked out of him.
Yeah.
You can tell the way how he handled himself. He handled himself like a bitch. He don't handle himself like a man. Like, you sitting up there name calling, that will cause somebody to get their ass whooped. Like, bro, it's gonna be some disagreements, but it's about respect. Y'all all men. Like, and he be name calling and shit. Like, that's why when it comes to people like that, I don't like talking online. Like, if somebody got something to say to me, just say it to my fucking face.
Yeah, man.
You know
That's just one of the things where it's just like, look, that's what people do on the internet. And like when I see people argue like that, I'm telling you the honest truth, I don't want to be around them. You know what I mean?
Yep,
at all.
Same here.
Because it's like,
you like,
you know, I try to keep it respectful, and I'm not gonna call, you know, so like the other person, I wouldn't want to be around them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but it is what it is.
You'll beat the fuck out that man, the one too. Like, I'll call you like you sick son, boy. You'll smack the fuck out that man. Like
6'2".
He gonna shut the fuck up.
I'm
like,
6'2" and I'm very athletic. Very athletic.
Yeah, like, man, he a bitch, bro.
Man.
I can tell the way that man carries
gotta
be a whole bitch.
Yeah, man. But thanks. I appreciate you calling in, dog. I got to take the call, man. Thanks for giving us a call.
Yes, sir.
What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Hey, I'm James Dewan. I'm from New York.
James from New York. What's on your mind?
I just wanted to just comment about that debate with you and Unc, man. There was 3 daggers you threw at him. The first one was asking him, does he know where his people come from Africa? You notice that he paused, then he thought about it because he was looking for some type of babble to come back with, and finally he came and told you the truth. So I don't know. That's the first one. The second one, when he was talking about those maps, it's like where he was showing the dark people, the so-called copper-colored people.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't see anything on the East Coast, and everything was like in Mexico and down there. So I'm like, he was like, wow, what's up with that map? That's not true. You know, through history, there was a lot of black copper-colored people in those areas on the East.
According to Europeans.
And you call that out of them, and no retort, nothing back. You know, and the third one, you know, you ask them, the last dagger, you asked him, what is it you asked him? You asked him, what was those copper-colored people that was on the map, what were they classified as?
Mm-hmm.
Crickets. Uncle, they didn't say anything after that. And I noticed, and then I said, why was there no back and forth with that if y'all really want to debate in this, you know, and it's so, you know, this and that. You know, you killed them, you daggered them with those in that debate.
Yeah, real talk. You know? They're so used to arguing with people that don't have information, who are just angry. Like, it's about like, let's just tell the truth. This is not all, but too many Pan-Africans, people who are like that, and there's no disrespect to people who went to jail, but most of them is former criminals looking to do something other than Christianity and Islam. And most of them are former Muslims and Christians. They're former Christians that went to jail. They got some good information in jail, and they got jailhouse information, jailhouse knowledge, and they use the jailhouse debates. And then they go on these other YouTube platforms that host jailhouse debates, and they sharpen their knowledge with prison babble. And what they do is they go around and say, and to make themselves feel better. Again, this is not going at everybody that went to prison. Everybody that went to prison is not like that. It's a lot of very upstanding people who ain't on that bullshit. But I noticed a lot of people from that community, it's like they have an issue with those of us who were squares and didn't go to jail. And they stick their chest out saying, see, no, when you locked down, I had a chance to read 18 hours a day because I was locked in a pen and you was out, that kind of talk, And they never, alongside of their knowledge, they never learn how to research what's qualified information versus unqualified information, and they never learn how to disseminate it in a way without using fallacy. And then they run across somebody who's trained in university on how to present an argument without a fallacy. I couldn't have got my degree if I couldn't present every single paper, every single debate that I was in without using any one of the fallacies. Do you know how hard it is to prove your point without using a fallacy? Because we use fallacies every day and don't even know it. You know what I mean? So
right.
And so I'm trained. So all that sticking their chest out with their prison babble, and then they run across somebody that is the real deal. And instead of saying, okay, let me get my shit right, they want to throw attacks and this and that and that and this. And it's all just an attempt to make themselves feel better. And I don't take it personal. It just
that's
go
right.
Go
on doing your thing.
Yeah, go do your thing.
Yeah, but another thing I wanted to ask you about, man, the clave, the Cuban clave, when that whole thing. Yeah, I know you broke it down a couple of times, but it was still a lot of people out there trying to say that clave that came to the United States because we didn't have the drums at the time. They're saying that that's where our music started at. That's where all our beats and stuff started at. What came before the clave? Wasn't blues before that? And then we evolved some more once that clave came in. We just kept going with that, right?
Question. Outside of Earth and Fire, when's the last time you heard a clave in our music?
I haven't.
Thank you. What it is they get these instruments because as Black Americans, we're very experimental with our music. And we will grow and try things and incorporate things and then drop it off and keep going. And so what our music, the clave has been around, and the clave ain't nothing but a piece of a tree. It's two pieces of trees that you click together. And if I was in my garage right now, I got a couple claves. They're not up here. They're in my garage. Damn, I should have brought them up here. I should have had them up here in my music bag. But anyway, the clave ain't got nothing to do with our drums. It's like our drums are totally independent of a clave. Like the clave is what we use to accent on top of the drums. Hold on one second.
Call from
Willie Green.
Hey, I'm gonna finish this call. Hold on 1 second. I'm finish this call. I'm gonna get right to you. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So with the clave, I mean, what they do is that's what they do the same thing with the banjo. They try to find some instrument that has roots other places also, and say, hey, that's how your music started. Well, if Black American music was so hinged on the banjo, why the fuck don't we still use the banjo? Because it never has been the core instrument of what we use. You know what I mean? The clave never has been the core instrument. These are instruments that we use to color. And Earth and Fire, when they use the clave, they use it in a way to add color to the music, not as a primary drum. You know what I mean? But I gotta take this other call, man. Thanks for giving us a call.
All right, thanks, Dewan.
Yes,
love what you do.
Appreciate it. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, Willie Green?
Yeah, it's Willie Green, your main man, Willie Green.
Man, Larry, shut your bitch ass. I was like, Willie Green? It's too mean to hear from my main man, Willie Green. That's lame on the scene.
Hey. Okay, man. All right, hey, dog. First of all, when I was on hold, that is the worst fucking music. That shit sounded like some neo soul elevator music.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Sorry as
I didn't hear the whole music, but I'm glad it pissed you off. You hoe
Oh,
ass Arab.
that shit, it was fucking terrible, nigga. Oh, D'Angelo's rolling over in his grave right now. That
I'm
shit's
glad
hard.
you was pissed. Yes.
Oh, hey,
Yes.
dog.
Now what the fuck do you
So,
want?
I want you to shut up and let me talk, bitch. Dog, you know how? So you have one topic, and people are calling in and talking about that. Talk about that video with the nigga with the kufi, and then that other nigga who kept asking you, you think you Indian? Hey man, that should be hard for me to watch, dog. As your homeboy, I'll be wanting you to like really just fuck him up, and then in the back of my head, I'll be thinking, man, the one will whoop all y'all ass, and I'll be getting mad when they, and then I'll be getting mad when they think that they made certain points, like they got you and shit. And I'm like, man, fuck y'all niggas, I'll whoop y'all ass, man. Yeah,
I'll
dog.
never forget one time he was one of them dudes that he saw me here in LA. I think it was at Taste of Soul. And when he came up, he was like, "Oh, what's up, D?" And then he's like, "DeJuan, you DeJuan B?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, the nigga was like 5'6", 5'7". He was like, "Man, you tall." I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, I'm thinking everything is cool. And he was like, "Yeah, man, nah, it's cool, man. I like you, man. I like your show, man. But man, you be saying some things, man, be making people mad." And so when he started talking like that, I was like thinking like, so he thought that, yeah, that's why you mentioned I was tall. And they really, because I'm sitting down and I'm kind of hunched over, they realize I'm not as fat as they think I am. The camera, I'm a big motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie.
No, yeah.
But I ain't nearly as fat as they think I am. I'm way taller than they think I am. Then they look at my legs and my build and see that I'm more athletic than you too.
Yeah, you ain't no sloth. Yeah, you
And
a
so,
bitch, but you ain't no sloth. Yeah.
hey, nigga, all I know is this. I know one thing that'll stop all this shit. When me and you get in the ring and I show the whole world how I get down and beat a nigga like you named Billie Jean.
Hey man, what? No, that was horrible.
I meant to say Willie Green, but
yeah, I know. I was like, Billie Jean, what?
I tried to get my rhyme, but you can't do nothing about it. I'll still beat your ass if you had a problem with it, nigga. How about you be an example to the rest of these niggas? How about that?
Okay, well, how about this? I'm going to dress just like that nigga that had on that kufi, that light-skinned nigga from DC, and I'm going to kick your motherfucking ass to some go-go music, bitch. How about
that? Nigga, I'll slap that kufi off your head, nigga. I'll turn that motherfucker inside out. Nigga, I get your motherfucking daishiki and turn that bitch in. I'll twist that daishiki into a ponytail, nigga.
What? Man, no, you wouldn't.
And I'll pick you up like this, and I'll be like on a cartoon, like on Tom and Jerry. And I'll grab you by that daishiki, and I'll twirl your bitch ass around like Brutus on Popeye, and fling your whole ass.
Man, hey, dog. No, I had to say that shit, dog, because I'll be watching the videos, and then like when people be commenting, like people be pissed off at some shit you'll say, you offend them, and then they'll say something, and the first thing I think is, man, DeJuan beat your ass, and then I think, man, I want to whoop this nigga's ass, dog. Like that should be pissing me off, dog. That video with that nigga with that kufi, I'm telling you, D, I watched about 30 seconds of it, dog, and I had to pause it. I was like, man.
That nigga said 30 seconds.
I watched that shit about 30 seconds. I was like, man, get this old cute ass nigga up out of here. I'll mop that nigga. Fuck. Anyway, dog, I brought violence to your show, man. Let me get off the phone, you whole ass nigga.
Yeah, get back to your Somali community, nigga. Call in to either number, Sincere. Call into I finally got my Zoom line working so I can get rid of the other number. The Zoom line wasn't working before, but 323-388-3315 or 323-705-5150. Call in, brother. But he was talking about the wood clave earlier. Here's a wood clave right here, Earth and Fire. Right.
Call from.
What's up, caller? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Vincent. How's it going?
Yeah, what's your name?
Vincent.
Call from.
What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Vincent. You're a bitch.
I need you to be funny. I need you to be funnier than that. Like, that's all you have?
You're a bitch.
You called in to play something that said, that's what you called in to do? Is that it? Come on, man. If you're gonna troll, you gotta be funnier than that. This nigga dialed the phone like, hey. Then he slobbered on it. This old head detective handyman looking motherfucker literally called into my show
To accept.
with a wrist like this and was like, I'm gonna get him this time. Watch. I'm gonna get him. Yeah, right. Come on, I don't mind trolls, but nigga, make me laugh. Damn. What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, this is Dana from Pasadena.
What's up, Dana? How's it going?
Not much, just laughing at you and these people. But this FDA Pan-Africanist, I don't know, beef, feud, turnout, it is giving people a second wind. It was like they didn't have nothing else to focus on, and now this came up, and they just back at it. It's like everybody could get it.
Yeah, right. It's like it came back up ever since the Dr. Smalls interview, and I'm glad to see that, you know, it's gotten past Dr. Smalls, because what that does is it's got everybody else has been in their feelings this whole time. It got them coming out and, you know, sticking their head out, sticking their chest out, and they saying all these suppressed feelings, and they all sound stupid.
They really do all sound unintelligent, because it's just like, oh, I don't like what you said, and he's this, that. But it's giving people on the fringes, like Taharka Bay, like, you know, he can throw his Burger King crown in the ring. And I'm like,
yeah, I forgot all about that guy. I forgot all about him.
People, like, let it go. I don't know, but it's giving people too much of a second wind. And if men are sitting around making videos about who said what, and I'm Pan-African, and I'm FBA, and I don't like what you said, and for countless hours, I just don't know what to say about you. If that was my dude, I just have to pop it. Like,
yeah, where are these? That's a good point, Dana. Where are these guys' women at? Like, what do y'all women think about y'all sitting around obsessing over another man like that before? If I obsess over another man, like my wife listens to my show, she'd be like, "What the fuck is you doing?"
It's senseless and pointless. It's just like it gives men almost a credence to go back and forth. They done move from sports to FDA to Pan-Africanist, and then they gonna start talking about underwear. Like, what are you doing? I don't get it. I'm confused.
I don't know what's going on, Dana.
All right. Well, thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for giving us a call.
Okay. Bye.
Tejada 420, you ain't blocked. I don't know why you said that, but welcome to the chat. I want to go back to that point the brother was making about the wood clave. This Earth and Fire. The wood clave is that little click you hear. You're going to hear the drums playing off beat. You hear a little click on the 2 and the 4. On the quarter note. When you was talking about the wood clave earlier, this is the extent Black Americans use the wood clave right here. The wood clave is layered with the snare. On the bridge of that song, it's kind of played in between the snare beats, but then once it comes back in on the 2 and the 4,
King by any means multimedia co.
Once it comes back down on the 2 and the 4, the most the Black American may use a wood clave for is a layer of snare. So when they try to say that the Black American sound is based on a wood clave, they're not even giving proper context, even how we use the wood clave. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Dewan? Sincere. What's good?
What up, Sincere? Thanks for giving us a call, brother. Man, they mad at you, dog. These niggas done did like 48 hours of programming just on you.
I know. This is what I'm saying. Like these niggas, man. I'm like, yo, like I don't know what it was that we did or said because first of all, we didn't even have the conversation that we were supposed to have when we went up there. They done switched the whole conversation to go somewhere else, and them niggas been punching the air ever since.
Yeah, they looking like
because the dude.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The dude making videos talking about how I got beat up on the panel and this, that, and the third. But when you go to the comments, even in their video, because we all stream to our own platforms. So even if you go to the comments in their video, it's like literally not one comment that's in their favor.
Right.
They getting toe up in the comment section.
Yeah, right. Even like when you go on Dr. Maas's channel, people are tearing up dude with the blue shirt. They tearing his ass up on her channel.
Right.
Let alone my channel and your channel was 99.9% for us. But on the neutral channel, the host channel was a neutral channel. On the neutral channel, they still got their ass whooped in the comments.
Still got their ass whooped, man. And they just been punching the air ever since. And it's like right now, me and you, I guess we the sit-ins for Tariq because that's who attention they really want. But since they got our attention, they happy with that.
You said sit-ins for Tariq. You're right. We the placements. We the placeholders. You know what I mean? Yeah, I guess so. No matter how much we talk about our own point of view and our own delineation from our own point of view, they still want to throw him in there. Brother,
right.
What can you do other than laugh at this shit? This shit's funny to me.
Shit is hilarious, man. That's why I'm sitting here watching your show. You clowning, doing it like you always do. That's it, man. Like these dudes still trying to get me to come on their platform and all. I'm like, I'm not coming on your platform. Like for what?
So they can jam you up and not let you
take y'all serious.
Yeah, they even had an issue.
I don't even take y'all serious for real.
I even saw a point where they had an issue with you saying that you didn't really get a fair chance to speak, and you didn't, because I even cut you off like once or twice. Where like every time you was really getting ready, not every time, but it's a few times you was getting ready to cook on something, they would cut you off and they would roll. You know what I mean? And you only got to really roll a couple, but at the same time, it's almost like you almost didn't even need to roll the way you wanted to, because when you did roll, you shut them down. Two, whenever they would get to rolling, it didn't combat anything you said. It was like you said more. You would say more in 20 seconds than they would say in a 2-minute soliloquy.
Right, and that was one of my points that I was trying to make too, is that I didn't have to say much. Just by y'all speaking, y'all ate your own self up. You know what I'm saying? The comment section reflects that. Even though I didn't get a chance to talk, I don't feel like, oh, poor me, y'all didn't let me speak. I didn't need to talk.
Yeah.
Y'all killed yourselves. Y'all tied your own selves up and tripped your own self up. So I ain't need to say nothing.
Yeah.
Y'all did a great job.
Yeah, man. They did it for you. Hey, man, we got to collab again soon, dog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. Hey. But yeah, you keep doing your thing, Glorm, man. And shout out to the chat. Y'all make sure y'all check out me and Nicey Girl channel as well.
Yeah, make sure you make some comments in the chat, and I'm gonna pin your comments so they know where to follow you. I'm on my software. I can't pin, but I'm gonna put it up in the chat. All right, for sure, dog. And that was sincere, man. They've been making all kind of videos. They've been reviewing this video. I'd be like, damn. Aquarian Soul says, the one with tied Larry Beard into Bantu knots. You goddamn right, Aquarian Soul. You goddamn right. I would get Larry's beard and tear that shit up in the Bantu knots and put them hoes down a paper shredder. And Larry's chin would be in the paper shredder going, ah. But Larry don't want those problems. But you right again, Aquarian Soul. Larry don't want them problems. Larry don't want them problems. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Not much, man. This is I'm Darren Coleman calling from Roanoke, Virginia, man. I just want to let you know, man. My mom grew up like 2 doors down from Big, and like she used to tell me stories about how they would like the kids would be out, doing their thing like in Brooklyn, and then like the old folks would be out cooking up catfish and all that stuff. So for 100% fact, I know it's some real down south stuff. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no immigrant stuff like that. And then, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, don't get, discouraged about that. But the second thing I wanted to say is, me and my boy that I grew up with, like here in Virginia, like me and them been talking, and I told them there will never be another great California college athletic team because of the gentrification in California. So I wanted to know, like, can you make a video on that to, like, expound on that stuff?
Yeah, I can be. I will do it one day because I've noticed that here. Like, I was I thought about that this past summer during the Drew League, and this past summer the Drew League was weak, and it's just like it's down because if you go to Drew League 10 years ago, every team had local born talent that was currently in the NBA, from James Harden, Westbrook, DeRozan, Paul. All them cats would be in the Drew League, but they were all local homegrown talent. And now, since we're getting pushed out of the city, and at the same time the city has turned a lot of basketball courts into soccer fields.
Forget that.
And so, yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all push out
we still got some. We still got some in the
I'd
state.
rather pay someone to go to Duke versus go to like
we still
UCLA.
got some in the state. We still got some in the state, but they're like in Palmdale and Lancaster and Moreno Valley. They're just way on the fucking outskirts. But the issue is the lack of. We used to have a concentration of talent in LA and Oakland that produced the greatest players in the NBA and NFL. But yeah, that's leaving. But I don't want to get too far off topic. But I will cover that.
No, you're good. Like, I just want to let you know, hip hop, is our people. Can you put me on some people that are like up and coming, like jazz artists?
Yeah, I have playlists on my Patreon, but also Keon, up and coming jazz artist, Keon Harold. Shit, I could do a list on my. Just tweet me or something like that, and I can give you some people. But one person I saw last week was Keon Harold, Theo Crocker. Two great trumpet players. Tatiana Tate, she's another great trumpet player. Ryan Porter. A lot of these guys. I'm going to see Robert Glasper tomorrow. Yeah, just it's a lot of them out there. But hit me up on Twitter and I'll put some tweets out for that. All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the call. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but that's what it is, man. When it comes to our history, I will continue to document our history. And again, I don't have any issues with like I said, brother Asar. I just don't agree with him, but I don't have any problems with him. Say something about me, I'm gonna say something back. And if you can't show your face, you just a bitch to me. So it doesn't really matter what you say if you hide behind a camera and you throw shots. Because if I knew how you really look, boy. But since I don't know how you really look and you want to sit behind the camera and throw shots, I'm going to assume you look like Rodney Dangerfield's balls. You just an ugly son of a bitch that don't want to come out. That's all I'm going to assume you're the real definition of a dude. A wart on a donkey's ass if you don't want to get on camera. That's just what I'm going to assume. And I'm going to say you look like that until you show yourself. So people who want to sit behind and not show themselves and throw shots, that's fine. You can't control that. You know what I mean? People going to do what they do. I just don't respect you as a human. That's all. That's just the way I see it. Because, like, y'all fat jokes be whack. I mean, fat jokes have always been the easy. Like, to me, I get offended at bad fat jokes because for me, fat jokes are the easiest jokes to get off. Like, no one gets offended when you say a fat joke, so you can say stuff about fat people that you can no longer say about. Remember, like, you could say a real black joke, a joke about somebody that's real black, and it'd be really funny. Now black folks are a little sensitive about us calling niggas limo tent, and so you can't really get all the way off on black jokes. You can't really call people midgets anymore because that's now considered offensive. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of jokes that people have had to pull back on. But the fat jokes are still widely acceptable and easy. Very, 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 very easy to land. And you still find a way to miss. I don't respect that. But I do respect funny. You hit me something funny, I'm going to laugh. But most of you niggas ain't funny, so I don't even know why y'all try it. You just make yourself look stupid. And don't let me get a hold of how you really look. But until I get a hold of how you really look, I'm going to assume you look like Daryl Strawberry's crack pipe. I'm just going to assume that. You know what I mean? I'm going to assume, you know, I'm just going to assume that. I'm going to assume you look like Sean Kemp. Just ugly for no reason. That's just what I'm going to assume. I'm going to assume you look like Cynthia Erivo with a wig. Because why else would you hide behind the camera if you don't look like an autistic Cynthia Erivo, you know? So, oh yeah, no disrespect to Rodney Dangerfield. You're right, Dad Middle TV. My bad. I didn't mean to disrespect Rodney Dangerfield by saying that whoever that nigga hiding behind the camera is look like the back of his balls. No disrespect to Rodney Dangerfield nor the back of his balls. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna watch Caddyshack tonight just to say, just to show Rodney Dangerfield my apologies. I think I'm gonna watch Caddyshack or Back to School tonight. Sean Kemp had money. He didn't have hoes. He had money. Money attracts hoes. You should know the difference between having money and having hoes. Do we got hoes now? What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Hey, he's the God Killer.
What's up? What's on your mind? The God Killer?
You know what it is, man.
Your name is God Killer?
God Killer, man. Brother Unc, y'all talking about me, having fun. You know it's me, Dewan.
Oh, the God Killer.
You know what it is? How you doing?
I don't know your voice. What's on your mind?
You know my voice, man. You was on the show, man, Dr. Me out. They call me God Killer. Ask about me.
I didn't know one of my best friend's voice when he called in 20 minutes ago. So don't take it personal.
So I ain't personal. So what's up, man? What's up with the conversation, man? I see Sincere called in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, come on, Sincere, man. You know what? I can tell you what actually happened with that conversation, yo. Y'all actually ran into, and I'm gonna speak for myself though, right? Y'all just ran into a bunch of professional STEM dudes. So we gonna come from accuracy, and so where y'all at, y'all got, I call it the poor man package, where you talk about in the neighborhood, this black people did this, blah, blah, blah. No. I spent 20 years correcting that, bro. So our conversation a little different. I think in your hearts, y'all think y'all got something, which is cool, and I had to recognize that. So I ain't really trying to throw no shade, but we do something different. I'm professional at what I do.
Question.
Seriously, like I teach STEM for real, right? I teach scientific literacy for real. So just for you, Dewan, we're never playing with the game. You talked about the oxygen level, and you talked about the insects. That was true. Insects was larger, but this is like 340 million years ago, 500 million years ago, right? But then you talked about humans, and you equated that to humans, and I'm just saying that would not be biologically true.
I didn't
and
do
the
that.
time frame would be wrong.
There you go, brother. You can only do straw arguments with them other niggas. You can't do that with me. Like, you can't say you said this and I'm gonna talk about that.
What'd you say? Go ahead.
And if you won, why don't? Well, no one agrees. No one says. I mean, I'm looking at the comments on Dr. Ma'ash channel, and everybody's basically saying you sounded crazy. I'm not gonna look at my comments on my channel. I know my channel's biased. I know my channel's biased. I'm gonna go to the neutral channel.
No. Listen. Stick to the point.
Oh, no. I am. I'm bringing up the first point you brought up. The first point you brought up. I'm going in line. I'm gonna get to the other point. Your first point was you were too smart for us. We couldn't get it. But
I didn't say that. That's not what I said.
You say you teach all these people, and we ran into STEM teachers.
No, I'm saying we do something different.
If I ran into a STEM teacher, as a STEM teacher, why couldn't you convey your point of view to the people who was listening?
Because I couldn't.
They don't agree.
You were too disruptive. I
wasn't disruptive. I was quiet.
Yeah, you was cracking jokes.
But no, I'm not.
And we do convey it. And there's a barrier.
I'm on her page. And I'm reading the comments, and basically 9 out of 10 is saying you sounded crazy.
So that means I won, Dewan.
Oh, that mean you won. Okay.
If 9 out of people
that's
say no, that mean I won.
Okay.
Because America is the most scientifically literate country in the world. Hold on. America is the most scientifically literate country in the world, but they got the most people that's anti-scientific.
Question. So how effective are you as a STEM teacher if your message can't get to the people
I'm very effective, but it's a skill that you yourself have to learn.
How do we quantify your effectiveness if when you convey your message the people don't get it?
Well, y'all heard what Dr. Mayat said. Y'all heard what Dr. Asal said. They two credible doctors in our community. So don't worry about me.
No. I only brought it up because you brought it up. I'm just addressing what you brought up.
Well, I want to get back to the insects.
So you lost that point.
The larger insects and the giant, because that is the real
chat room. Y'all keep score. So I'm up 1-0.
I lost. I remember they always say I always
now
lose.
let's get to the insects. All I said when I brought up the insects, all I said when I brought up the insects was at different times on Earth, different things are true at different times. I didn't say the insects lived at the same time as humans. I literally said
no. You said that's why the humans was big.
No, I said at different times in Earth's history. There are times in Earth history we had 30-foot tall giants. There are times we had 20-foot tall giants. There are times we had people who didn't get past 4 feet tall. Earth has had a lot of different renditions.
That's not true, Joanne.
That's very true. We can look. I can go. I was in the museum. I was in the Natural History Museum here in LA, and they showed us. They showed literally armor from the French in the 1700s, and the armor was like 3'9". Like that. There was a time people at the same time on Earth, different people on different sides of Earth have different. There are a lot of things that are true at the same time.
No, I'm familiar with Homo florensis. Hold on. I'm definitely familiar with Homo florensis. So on islands, mammals get smaller.
I'm talking about 400 years ago, not Homo florensis. I'm talking about Homo sapien, friends.
Okay, so I'm thinking on islands, we know that mammals get smaller. They got miniature elephants and miniature humans. That's not what we're saying. Your point was the giants, and I'm saying fundamentally that's not true. And you equated
that wasn't my point.
Getting large for the oxygen, and then you
let's make it very clear. Let's make it very clear. I'm not going to allow you to conflate my point. Okay. My point is you cannot say we were all one thing at one time. What I'm saying is Earth is going through ice ages. The Sahara was one time an oasis. That was a tropical oasis.
Of course.
California at one time was under ice. That's all I'm saying. At different times, different things were true. I'm only focused on the last 500 years because I could document the last 500 years.
You're messing it all up, though. But I'm saying you messing it all up on purpose, though, Dewan.
How am I messing it up?
See, at least I know I could have a conversation with you. Sincere is dumb as rocks, and he know it.
That's a smart brother.
That's why he didn't say nothing on that show, because he couldn't say nothing. He ain't had nothing to say.
Sincere's a smart brother.
He had nothing to say. Right. He's dumb as rocks, and he know it.
The people
because he put me off his show. See, you wouldn't put me off your show. We'll just talk it out, as long as I don't get you disrespectful. But Sincere asked me a question, and I want to get the question out. The question was, well, who do you suggest teach us? What's the teacher? Because you talk crazy about James Smalls. You did this. I said, I suggest people that look like me and you, Dewan, that have an said education in a particular field that they're talking about. I always advocate for the experts that look like me and you, not white people, but people look like me and you because they're studied and trained in the subject matter. My job is to get you to the people that's trained in the subject matter. That's all I said, bro. The nigga put me off. But I realize now why he put me off, because he's afraid of the conversation. Yeah,
well, I don't
like, that's white man degrees. I didn't know degrees was white people.
Sincere's not here to defend himself anymore, so let's talk about what
he just ran his mouth about me. So he don't got to be here to defend himself. He just talks about me, right?
Let's talk about if you have an issue with what I said. I can't.
Oh, so that's your man, because you ain't defend me. You ain't defend me, Devon.
No, I didn't defend you.
He said what he wanted to say about me. Right, you weren't supposed to, but guess what? I'm gonna defend you though.
No, you wouldn't. Not with what I saw on the other channels. You didn't defend me.
I would defend you because you was talking crazy.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't defend me when I saw your reactions on videos on not only Miss Sister Miles.
Yeah, because you were talking about giants.
Well, which one is it? But you just said you would defend me. I don't expect you to defend
you when you're wrong. I don't gotta defend you when you're wrong, but I'm gonna defend your right to name yourself who you want to be. You just said FBA.
So literally, the last 30 seconds, you just said two different things. That's called duplicitous, brother.
What was the two different things?
You said
and define the word for me.
You
please.
said if I was in front of you, said Dewan, I would defend you. And I said, well, when you had a chance to defend me on that other show that I wasn't on, you didn't defend me. You went in on me.
No, because that was me reacting to your show.
So
I
which
had to
one
defend
is
you
it?
on that.
So what the duplicitous
No, I didn't have to defend you on a react. I was reacting to you and your react. That's what we do as YouTube. We react to each other content. It's great content.
And I have no issues with you reacting, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is don't react like that when I'm not around. Then when you get in front of me, say, hey, I would defend you. That's duplicitous.
No, I'm saying I would defend. I would have enough sense to know. I'm talking about our show we did. Me, you. It was Sincere, me, Dr. Saw, and Dr. Mayat. We was on the show. So I'm saying if a person starts talking about the show and it's something you didn't do, I'm going to say, no, the brother ain't do that. I'm going to do that. Now, I'm not going to defend the crazy stuff y'all was saying, like the black Indians. I think that to be totally ridiculous. There's a non-scientific, non-historical fact for African Americans or FBA. That's just not true. I'm just telling you, you can never prove or verify that. It's not real.
It's very much so true that there were black people here
No,
that
it's
was
not.
considered that were
It's
Indians.
not.
Yes,
It is not.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
We got pictures of
and
it.
And now,
We
so
got,
now
we
this is
got
what I'm
the
gonna do
emblem
for
of
you.
America. The emblem of America is a black Indian.
Listen what I want to tell you, Dewan. Listen, I'm saying that you made a statement about we all come from Africa. You said that. Well, if we all come from Africa, then we went all over the world. And I'm saying that's not true.
No,
you have to understand Charles Darwin evolution for that.
I didn't say that either. I said that there are a lot of stories. I feel that some people come from Africa? Yeah, quite possibly. There's some people who don't. I like people. Some people say that we're star seeds, like George Clinton. And I listen to Mr. George Clinton when he says we're star seeds. That makes a hell of a lot of sense to me.
So respect this. You're speaking in allegory then, because we are not star people.
How do you know?
That's just a slick way of saying it.
How can you prove it? How can you disprove it?
I see the picture you put up there. What do you want to do with that picture? What do you think that picture is telling?
The emblem of America.
About humans that are very diverse.
That's the emblem of America. That's a black Indian.
Okay, that's fine. But listen, what I want to I want to make a suggestion.
White folks do that.
Study Darwinian evolution and study the outer Africa theory.
I studied Darwin.
In there lies the answer.
I studied Darwin in the 9th grade. And Darwin, do you know that Darwin?
Okay.
Do you know that Darwin, before he died, was even talked about how what he was doing was a theory he didn't know. It was a working theory. Darwin didn't say that. He had a working theory that he was not able to prove. A working theory, and he was very open about him having a working theory.
So would she be? I tell you what, you care about your people and getting this education to them. Am I correct? You would say that, right? You want people to. You want people to be on the journey you want.
Let those
correct?
who have an ear to hear. Let those who don't keep walking.
Right. Okay, so guess what, Devon? I'm basically on the same thing. I feel like what I bring to the community is essential. It's important because we all claim if we just know who we are, we will function better as a people. And I think you would agree to that. This is what we can do, Devon. You can't mischaracterize what a scientific theory is, and then out the other side, what was the word you used? Contentious? Is that the word you said? Now, the other side of your mouth, start talking about he had a working theory. That's not what a scientific theory is.
I said duplicitous.
Charles Darwin had a scientific theory.
I said duplicitous.
Yes.
And I said duplicitous because...
Explain what... I asked you to define it for me.
I did.
I know it may have something to do with changing what you said or something like that.
No, I did define it. I said when I wasn't around, when I saw the video that you guys did, you asked me to defend you. I said, well, when I wasn't around, you didn't defend me. But when you get in front of me, you asked me to defend you. I said, you said you would defend me. You said I would defend you, but when you had a chance to, you didn't. That's called duplicitous. Instead of just being like flat out. I don't know.
So listen.
Hold you. It would have been more respectful.
Okay, I got you. I'm learning. I'm learning what the word
hold your own nuts. If you was like, Dewan, hold your own nuts, I'd have been like, all right.
So Dewan, for the listening audience, Darwin produced a scientific theory.
You know,
and your listening audience should know what that is. You should know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. I mean, and it's okay because we all had to learn what a scientific theory was. A scientific theory is not a guess.
What is a theory?
A scientific theory is a scientific theory, which is different from a theory. A theory is like, yo, shorty mother fed her grits all the time. well, she's fat to death. No, that's a hood theory. But a scientific theory is a organizing of scientific facts, well substantiated and well tested. That's what a theory, a scientific theory is.
Is
So
it a
Charles
law?
Darwinian evolution is a well substantiated, well tested scientific fact, yo.
No, it's not.
And
No.
they have predictive power.
You cannot change the word. A theory is not a fact.
I
A
didn't change it.
law. Now, if it's a
It
scientific
is
law,
no.
anything short of a
No.
law
I
is
said,
up for debate. There was a very
no, it's not. We don't got to
flat
argue.
Earth was once a well substantiated scientific theory.
No, it was. No, it
Yes,
never
it
was. It
was.
never was.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. As a matter of
Tom,
fact,
you went to college. Hold on. Wait. You know what?
yeah, in another day, yeah,
I could probably talk to you.
800 years
Listen,
ago,
you went to college.
800 years ago,
You went to college, right?
600 years ago, flat Earth was a very, very strong theory. Very
No,
strong.
it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
There is no such thing as a flat Earth model.
Well, there was
probably guessing.
back in the days.
wasn't.
Matter of fact, when people like Galileo said the Earth is round, they got thrown in jail by the church. The church when people
Galileo didn't say that. Galileo
when
didn't
when
say
these
that.
people would come
That
out and say the Earth is round, the church would fuck them up.
No, Galileo said that the Earth traveled around the sun. Prior to that, they thought it was the other way around. They thought the sun traveled around the planet.
Exactly.
Okay,
And he got thrown in the church.
Copernicus is the first person to say that.
And the church
But let's get back to the
fucked him up because that was against scientific theory of the time.
No, that's not what happened.
So why did they do that to them then? If they agreed with
Listen, what I want to because first of all, the Catholic Church actually financed science, and whenever you get to the point where you kind of touch them up a little bit, they get a little bit upset, and they put them in a villa, a lighthouse
Darwinism
arrest.
is one of those things. Darwinism is something that's been long debunked.
Okay, hold on. You're going too fast. Matter of fact, this is a great conversation for the audience, so they don't think I'm just a nut, because they probably think I'm a nut. Let's go back to the theory of evolution is not only a scientific theory; it's a fact, right? And I'm trying to tell you what it is. So it's a scientific fact.
It would be a scientific law if it's a fact.
No, a law is not a theory, and a theory never graduates to a law, and a law never graduates to a theory. No, that's not how that
Theory never graduates to a law.
It's a whole different education.
If it doesn't graduate to a law, that means it hasn't been proven.
No, so you have Newton, Sir Isaac Newton. He has the law of gravity, and you got Einstein has the theory of gravity. It's two separate things, bro. And so a theory is an explanation of it, right? Right? It explains a law.
Theory is a guess.
But a law never graduates. No, a theory never graduates to a law. You can just look it up.
A law is a theory that's been proven.
No, you made that up.
I didn't make that up. That's
I beat you half to death on that. I beat you
a
so
law
crazy.
is a theory that's been proven. A theory is still a guess.
Nah, you can't look that up nowhere. Look it up. You got it right. Look it up right here and read it.
A law is a theory that's been proven. You can't.
It's not. Duan, you can't say that. You went to college. That's why I'm saying I should have came a little bit different, because it's a different conversation I have. I don't expect the people to catch it right away. You would have to go look it up, and an Encyclopedia Britannica would tell you that. I hope y'all use encyclopedias. If you're going to relegate that to white people, then I don't know what you're going to do. But you can look up online. Put it in ChatGPT. Do that. Y'all use that.
A theory is a good guess that has evidence that backs it.
No, it's not. No,
it's a good
not.
guess.
It's the science. It's part
and
of
it has a
scientific
lot
method.
of evidence that backs the guess. It's a guess backed with evidence, but it's not a law.
No, you're messing that up. No, you're messing up. So the scientific theory starts off with what? An hypothesis, which is an educated guess. All right? You gather you ask the question, you gather the data.
I literally said
right?
a guess. I said that
okay.
a guess.
And then it would the scientific
and it's backed by evidence.
If can be verified, right, by other scientists, will end up being a scientific theory. That's part of the scientific method. You messing it up.
Now you keep jumping around. I'm messing. You literally
said
what I said.
I
said the theory's a guess. It's an educated guess, but it's a guess. It's a guess back. It's a guess back by evidence.
So you want to do a show on that, man? Listen, let me know when you want to do a show on that.
Let's stop grasping straws and let's come on. Let's wheel this back. Let's wheel this back.
Really
whatever your issue is.
You put enough on tape right now.
Let's wheel this back.
So what's your issue with me? Do you have an issue with me in my conversation?
I didn't know who you were before that conversation.
What I said. I don't mean a personal. No, I don't mean it. I mean as far as the way my conversation is only the Black Indian part. The rest of that you can have. The way you name yourself.
Here's my point of view on that. You can think.
That's the whatever you just showing right there is not a black Indian.
Let me tell you. You can think.
All right, go ahead.
Whatever you want to think. I believe, like I don't know if you was here when I started the show. I believe in the open marketplace of ideas, and people are going to gravitate to whatever ideas they feel are going to match that vibrate with whatever's going on inside of them. We're going to have differentiating ideas. It's best to always have it out there on the table. I don't believe in stomping people out and silencing people and saying, you shouldn't think that, and you should think like me, and blah, 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 blah. I'm not the end all be all of thoughts. I evolve. You evolve. People evolved. And I don't give a damn what the next man feels about something. I put out what I feel. Okay. I put out what I know. And when I do my music history, my music research, I'm always able to give, like I learned in college, 3 to 5 points of 3 to 5 points of evidence to reference my point. Now, if somebody don't like it, they don't like it. I don't care.
Okay. Can I respond to that?
Go ahead.
Can I respond to that? The world you just talked about will be a world in confusion because
we're already confused.
In the 1700s. Let me finish. I'm saying in the 1600s, 1700s, where everybody had ideas, we was all over the place. At a certain point, some things have to get tested, have to get verified, right, and have to make sense. Just because you got an idea don't mean it makes sense. It just doesn't. Especially when that's why the field of science is created, right? Because it brings the ideas together to be able to test them, right? And once you test your idea, it's either going to work or it's not. The world with your car works because it's proper, because the engine is working right, the pistons are the proper size. All these things are working properly. If you had everybody's idea thrown into it, it would not work. So that's not what science does. It organizes thoughts and ideas. You throw out the stuff that don't work and you keep the stuff to do. And I'm telling you that the FBA or African Americans, right, we can figure out our history. You did it. You trace Native Americans that's in your story. It's a certain way you had to do that. You just don't realize the difference between what you're miscalling a black Indian because you're not understanding scientific evolution. You don't understand that, right? All humans come from Africa, but they evolve in different environments to get to the Americas. So by the time the population that came out of Africa, right, they no longer was indigenous Africans, right? They end up evolving to the Americas, and it's called the New World. And we know this because of their immunity. They had New World immunity. The people from Africa and the Europeans from Europe, they had Old World immunity. That's why when the Europeans and the Africans came to America, they got sick. So if those black people was already here, they wouldn't have got sick because they would have had immunity to the Old World diseases. Now, in turn, Native American population got some of the Europeans sick. They gave them syphilis and stuff like that because that is a New World disease. So look up the Columbian Exchange. Everybody that's listening to the broadcast.
So I have a question. I have a question to go along with that. If I go to Africa right now, if I go to Africa right now, and I don't take 15,000 shots, my body can get malaria that it cannot handle. So does that mean I'm not indigenous to Africa if I can't handle that African disease?
Because you're not indigenous to Africa. You in that we was formulated in America.
Thank you for my point.
I'm saying,
I'm a foundational black American,
listen,
not African.
But we have not mutated.
You see how I won that?
But our genes have not mutated. No, I'm saying you're not an indigenous African, though. That's crazy. We're not continental Africans, but that's ridiculous. That's not. I don't say that. You're getting me confused. Dr. Mayat doesn't say that. You was on a panel with people that agree with some of the things you were saying. We were so busy having fun, me and you, that in reality, I'm not a Pan-African. Dr. Mayat is, Dr. Asar, but they not the Marcus Garvey Pan-African. They don't do that.
No,
they literally
they
do it for real.
So basically, you're coming back to my point of view. That's why I call myself a foundational black American. I call myself a freedman. I call myself a black American. I used to be classified as Negro at one point. And that's why I say I don't go. If you listen to what I said the whole time, I was like, people been circumnavigating the globe as long as there's been a globe. What I'm focusing on, there's this place that was created, and it's called the United States of America. And that's where we are right now. That's where I've been paying taxes to for at least 20 generations. Well, going back then, it was a colony.
I agree.
And so
I agree.
I go with what I can prove. When or if my people came from Africa, I don't know. I could have probably been one of those people that I could have come from the star seed Orion. I could have come from the Pleiades. I could have
from a nebula.
How do you know
what it is?
How do you know?
Orion
How do I
nebula,
know?
yo.
How do I know that if my people started in Africa, they could have went to Australia and been in Australia for the last 50,000 years and then came here 10,000 years ago? I don't know. But what I do know, and no, because there's a strong, going back to evidence and everything else, there's a strong evidence that there was a relationship between the Americas and Australia, going back years, hundreds of years, thousands of years. And so
they get to Australia first.
There are people who my people could have. I don't know none of that shit. But what I do know is in 1640.
Why do I know?
In 1640, my people were here, and they were married indigenous people when they were here. And this place is where I pay taxes to now. So when it comes to my reparations fight, it's a conversation between me and the current government that's still in existence that I pay taxes to, that my family fought in the Revolutionary War, War of 1812, Civil War, Spanish-American War, World War I, II, and Korea and Vietnam, and Desert Storm in. So that's my focus. Y'all can have the rest of that shit. If y'all want to talk about 10,000 years ago and y'all want to talk about 5, y'all can have it. That's not my discussion. My discussion is on the here and now and my roots that are dug into here and now. Whatever civilization I was a part of 500 years ago doesn't exist anymore. So that's not my problem.
Okay. I know. Okay. Well, I think the point I'm trying to make here in this conversation is that we do know where we came from. So you can't keep saying that. For your listening audience, we do know.
You have a
theory. So we ain't going to sit up here and act like we don't know.
You have a theory.
No, you don't know what a theory is. We've already agreed that you don't agree with the accepted knowledge of what a theory is. No, you can't make up your own word. Listen, you one day, sit down, smoke your weed, get your encyclopedia out, and say, damn, that nigga was right. When you read what a scientific theory, you're just going to sound right.
No, I'm actually.
You're just going to sound right, bro.
No, you're not right. You're down.
Dewan.
You're theorizing.
Dewan, I know I'm right.
One thing I know.
I'm not theorizing.
Well, you're theorizing. If you can't,
don't
if
do
you
that,
if you
man.
can't name,
don't do that,
if you
man.
can't name the people who came over here from Africa and what year they came, then you're theorizing.
We do know when people came to Africa.
What was their name? Okay,
we know when the first Africans came into the America.
What was your ancestors'
about
name?
The black conquistadors. What about the black conquistadors?
What was your ancestors'
We got black
name?
conquistadors.
All that's true. What was your ancestors' name? Though? What was your ancestors' name that came from Africa?
I gave you. I did it on the show. I showed my chart.
No, no, you didn't. What's their name? What year did they come?
Man, I told you I can go back to 1840s.
And
I can go back to the 1840s.
Where did they come from?
It was in South Carolina.
Where the people of South Carolina? What tribe in Africa did they come from? What was their name, and when did they come here?
No, we will never know what you can't know that. You will never know. There's no technology to tell you what tribe you came from. Reason being, let me use this for an example. If we're talking about the Roman Empire, right? During the time of the Roman Empire, they went to Britannica, right? And they fought against the Brits. The Brits later on became the British. They all share similar DNA. Their DNA is basically the same, right? But they don't know it. They don't have the technology, so they think they fight like different cultures fight because they have cultural differences. So they fight against the Franks, which will later on become the French. They fight against the Rus, which will later on become the Russians. But they all share the same Indo-European DNA stock, but they don't know that. Okay, so there is no way for us to take a DNA test that would say what tribe you came from. Because you would take it and say, well, was he a Roman? Your DNA don't tell you whether you're a Roman or whether you're a Brit. It just does not do that.
And
you don't have that
technology. And that's why I say, you know what? I can show without a shadow of a doubt the name of my ancestors that were Potawatomi. I know the name of my ancestors that were Powhatan. I know the name of my ancestors that were Poarch. I know the name of my ancestors that were Creek. I know the name of my ancestors that were Cherokee. And so since I know their name, and I even have a dress, like, do you know that my Miss Lucinda Mean Smith, my great-great-great-grandmother out of Alabama, moved to Texas. She bought a house in South Dallas in 1890. And do you know that my family still owns that house till this day? I know that. And it's right down the street from the Cotton Bowl. And so my whole point of view is I'm going with what I know. And what's happened here in America is this whole country didn't even exist 300 years ago. So now that it exists, all four of my bloodlines, when I consider all four of my grandparents, they were here. So I do a micro-focused study on what was going on here. Because whatever happened in the past is gone. It ain't coming back. Whatever language was spoken, I don't know none of that. I don't know my native Potawatomi language. I don't know my native Powhatan language. But I know I do have 3 ancestors in a straight line that were all Powhatan, 6 that were Potawatomi.
I know, but that don't.
So,
I'm saying, but why can that be the truth? Well, hold on, how can that be the truth? I'm saying the possibilities are there that you're right. No, let me say this. So you should understand that absolutely could be the truth, but you also had African ancestry, and I want to first of all tell you that the book you keep showing, that's a great source. The name of the book is The Southern Seed, Northern Soil, okay, by Stephen Vincent, right? But you leave a part of the title out. The rest of the title, I know you got it somewhere around there, bro. The rest of the title says African American farm communities in the North Midwest. So these enslaved Africans, right, or free Africans, they went and started farming communities, but they was known to be African Americans, right?
That's not how they started.
And they mixed with some of the native people. It's in the book.
That's not how they started.
We read books.
That's not
how I'm telling you.
Okay, if you read the book, how did they get to the
Dewan? Dewan, you made me get the book. Dewan,
I get it. I want to know how much of the book you read. Where did they come from before they got to
Dewan,
Midwest?
I'm just getting started. Dewan, they tell you they moved up from the Midwest. They moved up into the Midwest.
From where?
They went to the frontier.
From where?
What you mean from where?
It's in the book.
No, you tell me from where, Dewan.
It's in,
because I don't know exactly where. I'm giving you the gist of the book. I haven't read the whole book yet, Dewan. Where did they come from? Hold on.
It's before you even get there.
Let's agree on where did they come from, Dewan. Dewan, where did they come from?
No, you read the book. I got to hear from you, brother.
I didn't say I read the whole book, Dewan. I said we got the book. We reading the book now.
It's on.
But I'm saying you keep hiding the title. It say African Americans, Dewan.
It is literally.
Do it say African Americans?
They literally.
Do it say that
on
that book?
Hold on. It literally talks about on the first page. It shows where they came from on the first page. This is page 1.
I mean, that's the worst.
On the first page.
First chapter.
On the first page. You didn't read the book.
Go ahead and read it to us, Dewan.
You didn't read the book.
That's not the first.
Cap.
Not on the first page, Dewan.
Cap.
Okay, Dewan. All right, you got me, Dewan. If that's what you're trying to do, yo. If you're just trying to get me, did you read the book?
I read the first page.
Did you read the book, Dewan? So what did it say, Dewan? Read it to us, Dewan.
So
I want you to make sure you read it, because I'm thinking you read it and understand.
Hey, chat room, y'all see this?
It's better for me not to finish the book yet
chat room,
than read the book and not understand it, Dewan.
Do you know that my family still hosts a family reunion every year?
I don't want to change, Dewan.
No, I don't even have to read the book. I talk to the people.
Dewan.
This is my family story.
What does the title of the book say, Dewan? Dewan, what does the title of the book say?
It says
African American farmer community, Dewan.
Yes, because guess
what?
Why
they saying it, Dewan?
When you print,
because they don't know no better, Dewan.
No. Let me give you an answer. Let me give you the answer.
The book says
let me give you the answer from the source. It's my family, not yours. If you want to get your book printed in the official through the university press, you got to call yourself African American. Or your shit don't get printed.
No, you made that up. Lie.
No, that's not made up.
For no reason.
You must not have ever published a book through University Press. How you gonna tell me my cousins that told me the story are lying?
I don't like that.
You gotta be called African American to get the shit printed.
I don't like that, Dewan.
You don't have to like it.
I don't like that, Dewan. You made that up.
You don't have to like it. It's not about what
you
like.
That book does not say that, Dewan. We read the book, Dewan. We're going to do a whole show on the book, Dewan.
You didn't read the first page.
Get it together, Dewan. Get got to get it together.
You didn't read the first page.
Get it together.
Hey, chat room.
So it don't right the
I
first.
got to get it together, but he didn't read the first page.
Dewan, so you claiming I ain't read the first page, Dewan? But I tell you what.
I literally asked you. I literally asked you where did my family come from?
I don't know what the first page say, Dewan.
It's on the first page.
What did it say, Dewan? Read it to everybody.
Why? So you then go to somebody else and say, "Hey, I read the book." You
The
didn't even
first
order
page
the book,
supports
did
me,
you?
Dewan, not you.
You didn't even read the book.
I do, Dewan. Okay, Dewan, I'm gonna tell you now. You being funny. I'm telling you that first page. I tell you, I'm threatening you. You better not read that first page.
Matter of fact,
how about that?
It's
now,
the second sentence. Hey, chat room.
First page.
Hey, chat room.
Now, you heard me.
Chat room.
You heard me.
It's the
Don't read
second
that.
sentence on the first page where my family comes from.
All right. Yeah, okay.
It's literally the second sentence on the first page. But you trolled me saying I didn't read the book.
A whole daggone conspiracy
if
around
I didn't read the book, how do I know that this information is on the first page?
Gonna read that. I'm threatening you, Dewan. Don't read that first page to the people. Don't do it. I'll read it.
That's like saying you can't find me. You know what you're doing right now? You know what you're doing right now? You doing like when chat room. Y'all know like when kids when the kids want to play hide and go seek, they say, you can't find me. You can't find me. What? You can't find me because they want you to give it to them.
You don't know something. You start cracking jokes. See, I figured you out. That's my job to figure you out.
I promise you haven't figured me out.
That means you don't know something,
If you figure me out,
I know your fighting style, Dewan.
Brother, if you
figured you out, Dewan.
If you figure me out,
you would have read that first page.
You would have read the first page.
I said they moved to the Midwest, man.
From where?
To the Midwest.
From where? Okay, what city in the Midwest did they move to?
From Virginia, nigga. You know it's from Virginia.
Nope.
Why'd you play with me?
Nope.
It's not Virginia, not North Carolina, Kentucky.
No, now you got it. You even wrong on your first guess.
Dewan, you playing with me. Dewan, you playing with me.
No. You said Virginia. Bro. Virginia's wrong, sir.
No, it's not. Carolina, Kentucky. Come on, bro.
No, Carolina, Kentucky, two different places. Which Carolina? Or Kentucky? Which one is it? Kentucky or Carolina?
Oh, wow, man. All right, why don't you read the first page?
You didn't read.
Everybody, I'm going to do a show and read that first page. He's scamming y'all with that one.
Yeah,
you definitely scamming.
Go ahead.
They definitely say they Africans.
Order the book on Amazon. Order the book on Amazon, then read it.
Dewan, we got it already, Dewan.
You didn't have the first page. And then you got the first. Then you got the first two guesses wrong. You said Virginia, no.
I didn't get it wrong.
You said Kentucky, no.
Upper South Carolina. I'm wrong. They migrated from Upper South.
No, not South Carolina, brother. No. You even got the Carolinas wrong. You even got the.
I thought it was Virginia,
that's the
North
wrong Carolina.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure, yo.
Well, if you thought it was Virginia, how do you question? How do you skip? How do you skip? How do you skip Virginia to South Carolina? You just get way.
I tell you what. I tell you how we do it around here, yo. I reserve the right to be wrong, right, and then change my answer when I figure it out. I don't have a problem with that. What I will do is I'm gonna read that first damn page, though. Now, since you've been funny, yeah, I already know. Yeah, that's what we gonna do.
You gonna do? You better do it then. Ain't nothing to it.
That book does not claim any indigenous black people in that book. That's what I do know.
Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Ain't nothing to it
but to do it. On you now.
Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Well, I like you, Dewan, because I like you, bro. You easy to get on that one. Yeah, we're gonna see.
That was fun.
So that book is talking about what now? Because you know in my circle, when a person keep holding a book up too much, you be like, yo, what they hiding? First of all, you never read the whole thing. I mean, you never read the whole cover because the cover say they're African Americans. So they talk about African. You never mentioned that part. Scared to death. The next point is
I told you exactly why from the family you said African American, and you said I don't like the answer. That's wrong. That's wrong.
If you think that's wrong, intelligent audience, so they're not going. You can't tell them anything. Okay, let me make this clear, Devon. You said they won't publish it if they don't say African American. Are you sure you want to stick with that, Devon?
Oh yeah. That's what I was told from family, not from the author himself.
Your audience ain't that crazy.
I didn't speak to the author himself.
I don't think you got that kind of
family. Yeah.
I don't think that.
Ain't nothing to it.
I don't think you got that, yo. Southern seed, brother. Northern soil. Southern seed, northern soil.
And you had four
African American farm
community. Your first four
1765, 1900.
Your first. I
got you on this one.
Your first four cracks at what's on the second sentence was wrong.
On the what?
Your first 4
How so,
cracks
man?
at
Look,
what was on
all
the
right, man.
second
Look, I don't
sentence
got the book in front of me.
was wrong.
I don't have the book in front of me, yo. Yeah, and this the part you did get right. They was definitely free black settlers, and the white people was trying to play them motherfucker. They was free black settlers, yo.
And thing
Africans.
is,
So you do have free Africans in
that's
America. You do know that,
that's
right?
only one of my free line. That's on my
I'm just trying
mom's.
to make a point,
That's
though,
my
man. I just
mom's.
want everybody to know, yo, they was Africans,
That's
not
my
Indians, yo. That's all I
mom's.
want to do with that book.
That's my mom's grandmother's side. My mom's
So your
grandfather's
mom's grandmother's
side.
side did come from Africa. Thank you, sir. I
And
just
my
wanted
mom's
to say thank
grandfather's
you. Good book,
side
though.
is a different set of free black people that came in through Pennsylvania.
Appreciate you, Devon. Devon, it's only one Negro. They call them
hey,
Negroes.
brother,
From Africa. There's no Negroes in America.
That doesn't work. You just proved yourself inept to have a valid discussion with me.
Not a problem.
Because you didn't know what was on the second sentence of a book you referenced.
All right, Devon, I might have messed it up. I don't have a problem with it. But I do know you scammed everybody with the book. Leave some honest and forthcoming. You made it up. They ain't even talking about no damn Indians. They ran into some natives. They was Africans from Africa, bro.
They weren't from
you
Africa
tripping right now.
And how you gonna tell me who my family?
Africans.
How you gonna
ancestors
tell me
came
who
from
my
Africa.
family didn't marry? Did I literally not say my family married into
they
Potawatomi?
might have married some Native Americans. You gotta stop that, man.
I have the birth certificate.
Right.
I have the certificate of the record of marriage.
We talking about the record of the book, though. That's all we talking about.
We're talking about the people in the book.
The book is about African Americans.
People have children and their children get married, and their children's children get married, and their children's children get married.
I ain't gonna let you fake me out.
And if you're going back to the 1600s, you're talking about 18 generations. I've had enough of this, but I wasn't planning on saying on this long Thanksgiving.
I appreciate you.
I'll let you get off, man. Much respect to you. We disagree, but
same here, brother.
I don't hate you.
We disagree.
You know what I mean?
No, we had a better conversation this time, Devon. I appreciate you, yo.
Much appreciated, man.
Tell Sincere I'm gonna do a video about him though, because he played too much. He cut me off. All right, brother.
He a good dude, man. Y'all you have a good one.
He a good dude. He a good dude, but he can't do what you just did. He can't have a coherent conversation. He can't do it.
Yeah, he's a good
man.
Yeah, he can. But y'all, man, everybody need to make up and listen to some Earth and the Fire, man. You have a good one, my brother.
Yeah.
Let's listen to some Earth and the Fire and come together. Have a good one, man.
All right, man. Big up to my FBA brethren, and big up to the African Americans. Call yourself what you want, but what you don't do is you don't make up nothing, because that's pseudo.
Please,
all right,
please
brother.
don't make nothing up. Have a good one.
All right.
Like, please don't make up reading a book you didn't read. Now that he's out there, I know he's still listening. Again, like me, I can go back and forth with people because I don't take shit personal. You know what I mean? I don't take our disagreement personal. We just disagree on certain things. You dig what I'm saying? I'm not taking any more calls right now because I've been to get off. I want to get off 30 minutes ago. I got somewhere to go. But for those of you who don't know, let's read the book that he said I didn't read. Let's read the first 2 sentences. Let's read the first 2 sentences. Willis Roberts, a man of mixed emotions, mulling over moving to the northwest frontier, the middle-aged farmer had begun taking a hard look at the world around him. A lifelong resident of Northampton County, North Carolina. He was a light-skinned, free person of color, not African American. He was a light-skinned, free person of color whose family shared a long heritage of both freedom and land ownership. A light-skinned, free person of color from Northampton County, North Carolina. I only run my mouth chat room when I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't want to look like that. I don't want to be that wrong in front of all y'all. I do not want to be that wrong. I'm terrified of being that wrong in front of all y'all. So before I open my mouth, I take my list. I'm checking it twice. Going to find out if the reference is naughty or nice. Dewana Claus is coming to town. I'm going to read these chats, super chats. Terrell Evans. People that look like us mean nothing. We want your sources to present scholarly documentation. Come on and tap out, brother Ankh. Appreciate the super chat, Terrell. Malik Bayard says, Lemon character holding his hands with gratitude on his face. Or that character. That's the little thing. Right? Peachtree says, look up Chief Sataria. He literally in a flood museum. His Ankh dude's an idiot. That was from the super chat. I didn't call you one, Ankh. That was me reading the super chat. Gogo says, salute to big bro Dewan B. I much appreciate the super chat. Florida Museum. Yeah, the Florida. Okay, Flood Museum. Okay, the Florida Museum. Thank you. I appreciate that. Terrell Evans says, we're not believers without receipts. Give us a scholar name, a journal, a book, a museum, a court case, a location, anything that can substantiate your views. If not, it's plebiscite battle. Huh? Come on, man. Cisco Bell says, bottom line is FBA is here to stay. We've always been here, and when the diaspora gets our back, we will have theirs, like we've always had. But until then, Pan-Africanism can take a step back. Appreciate that, Cisco Bell. That's some real talk. Peachtree Ministry says, checkmate. Braveheart, what's up? I'm going to the grocery store. I'll be back in about 20 minutes. All right. Braveheart Bridge says, Ankh is an ex-Nawapian Dr. York worshiper, Tether, who can barely read. Damn. That's cold. He said he's clout chasing off us FBA because he gets no views without putting FBA in his titles. Stop wasting time giving him a platform. I appreciate that, Braveheart. Much appreciation. Travis Golson says Brits and Russians were black. Yeah, they were. Russians and Brits were white. Ankh is the opposite of pseudo. Trying to rationalize scientific racism and eugenics. Right, because that Darwinism was some scientific racism like a motherfucker. And it's been debunked. Braveheart said, Ankh is a Tether. Don't let him lie to you. That's why he's said that our reparations should be made available to folks from the Caribbean diaspora. He was also talking shit about you, Dewan. I know he was talking shit about me on the channel. I saw him talking shit about me on trying to go with the weight jokes, but the weight jokes weren't funny, so I didn't. I like a good funny joke. So since it wasn't funny, I was like, whatever. Dewan resisting not clowning that accent. Dude, too. You goddamn right. I was resisting not. Yeah. Oh yeah, but brother Braveheart, I saw him talking shit on my channel. That's why I call him duplicitous. But he didn't know what the word duplicitous meant, so. But like I said, I don't take none of this shit. No, look, let me tell y'all something, y'all. Online, I don't take none of this shit personal. None of it. Nor am I somebody that's trying to tell everybody that I'm right and you're wrong. If you feel you African, then shit, you African. I don't give a fuck. Do I have African blood in me? Probably. I don't know when. I always say that. I probably do have African blood. Africa's a large continent that's gone through many epochs in time. What part of I could easily be from what if I'm a chat room? Do people ever say this? Like ask this question? Let me pull a map up. Let me pull the map up. Because Africa's huge. And Africa's gone through a lot of changes in time. What if you're from the part of Africa that's hidden under this desert, under the Sahara? What if you like this whole Sahara desert was once a tropical metropolis? What if whenever I left Africa, if I left Africa, what if it was 15,000 years ago when this was a rainforest? What does that matter when it comes to today? What if I left Africa? If I left Africa, what if I left it when and I was from what used to be Nigeria? What was I before? Like, which 300 tribes in Nigeria? Which tribe was I? Was the tribe I was in? Was it taken over by another tribe? What language did we speak? What were the customs? What was the music? I can't answer any of this shit. I can't answer none of that. I do know that I'm a living, breathing human being. What if my people came from the Moor? What if my people came from what if we were African Europe? What if we were Black Europeans? Some are Africans through the Moors. Some of them were around before then. Some came around just after the Ice Age ended. Other some that we know about migrations in Europe right at the end of the last Warmian Ice Age. What was that, like 8,000 years ago? And there's some that moved up to Africa in 711 when, some of them that moved up to Europe 2 years ago. Like, I don't know none of that. I don't know none of this shit. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I came from the Pleiades star system. If I came from the stars, I don't know which system I came from. If I came from, the stories go, we came from the Sirius star system. I have a very strong connection to Sirius, and that red, white, and blue that it shines. If I did come from the Sirius star system, when? I don't know. But I do know names, dates, and locations of family members who've been here in the United States since the 1600s. I know that. And since this is where I live and continue to pay taxes to, I'll just sit here and focus on where I am now and what I can affect in the present. Because there's only one reason to know the past, and that's so you can understand how to deal with the present. So my hyper focus is on the United States past, because the United States is still a country. We are still a country, and we're still in existence now. This is the government I pay taxes to now. This is the places where my LLCs are open now. And so that's my focus. That's my focus. So Donnie Williams, he says, I was on Discord saying he's Egyptian. Oh, he's saying he's Egyptian? See. It is what it is. Oh, Larry Smith, I ain't seen this nigga in the chat in a minute. What's up, Larry Smith? I ain't seen you up in the... Fuck you, man. Larry Smith used to be in the chat all the time. That nigga done stopped coming to this channel because I'm used to seeing this black-ass blackout mark with some white-ass teeth. The nigga looked like a s'more without the graham cracker, just the chocolate and marshmallow. You Rocky Road ice cream looking nigga. Salute, Larry Smith. Welcome back. Welcome back. What's up, Kendall? All right, Kendall, you missed it. I'm gonna call you as soon as this is over with. I'm about to get off in about 5 minutes. I'm gonna call you, Kendall. Yeah. My whole point is this. The only thing that we have any kind of control over now is where we are right now here in the present. And I'm going to focus on my family lineage here. Whatever I was doing before 500 years ago is not in existence anymore. Whatever government, this world has been flipped on its head since 1492. And the governments that existed pre-1492 are not the governments that exist now across many parts of the planet. A lot of the governments that existed 200 years ago are no longer in existence now. I can only deal with what's going on and where we are now. And that's my focus. And if people want to plebiscite battle and talk about where they were 600 years ago, that's fine with me. I just want plebiscite battle with you. I'm going to be over here doing my own thing. Focusing on the here and now. And for those of you on Patreon, you just got a new video on Patreon with me breaking down the unfiltered sounds of Black American music. For those of you on Patreon, if you're on Patreon, you have a homework assignment. Listen to the video that I just dropped now. It's pre-recorded. It's 2.5 hours long. It's all music. Listen to the video that I put up on Patreon now, and that's going to get you ready for a show that I'm going to do later on this week about with Jermaine Dupri. I'm going to talk about Jermaine Dupri today, but obviously we went in other directions. So we're going to talk about Jermaine Dupri and him talking about real singers are going to be fine with AI. AI is not going to replace real singers. And I want y'all to, we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about, I'm going to go ahead and watch sometime tonight. I'm going to watch this Candace Owens interview, and we're going to break that shit down. The interview that she had. Jermaine Dupri, and I gotta make sure I bookmark that video so I can show it to y'all tomorrow. And we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. Okay, it is bookmarked. All right, cool. All right, and don't forget to subscribe, join the Patreon, and all that good shit. And y'all make sure y'all stay safe. And again, don't be taking shit personal out here on these streets. People can feel however the hell they want to feel. What somebody else think don't make you don't stimulate you. What somebody else eat don't make you shit. But y'all gotta go ahead and y'all gotta listen to what Jermaine. Take it personal. Listen to the wise words of Jermaine Jackson. Take it personal. The bitter with the sweet. Some good things come to. Don't take it personal. All right. Y'all have a good one. We out. Man, Rocky been here sleep the whole show. Rocky a good boy. We been here damn near 3 hours, and Rocky been here sitting here next to me the whole time chilling. That's my dog. I love my little nigga Rocky. Now I'm about to feed the little homie. Y'all have a good one. Peace, Star. Mr. Smoke and everybody else.